pounds of pink oyster mushrooms money. I'm not even sure I like pink oyster mushrooms.
Guess it's time to find out. Because you could save hundreds when you switch to Progressive and bundle. Then the world is your pink oyster mushroom. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com or at your local CVS.
It's Game 5 and the Bucks are trying to stay alive in the NBA playoffs.
It's Giannis racing ahead, plows right through his man, lays it in with a foul, and that was the full Greek Freak experience.
Our coverage against the Pacers starts today at 4:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, April 29th, our top story. A tornado touchdown in northwest Wisconsin.
I'm Erik Bilstad. 100 days down.
Clear right now out on the roads. No major problems around the area. No incidents to report either, so we are in the clear. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm Team forecast, interesting today. We'll have falling temperatures. We're already at today's high of 72 degrees. Partly cloudy and windy for the rest of the day. Temperatures in the 50s by the afternoon. Mostly clear and chilly overnight. 37 Lakeside, 34 degrees your low temp away from Lake Michigan. Again, 72 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Wisconsin's first tornado of 2025 touching down late Monday, northwest part of the state.
A funnel cloud was spotted forming near Augusta in Eau Claire County. The National Weather Service says a tornado touched down just before 8:15 Monday night. Multiple tornado warnings were issued for western Wisconsin. The worst of the storm then moved east across the northern part of the state. The National Weather Service will assess the damage in Augusta today. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The top judge in Milwaukee County is speaking publicly, the first time since FBI agents arrested Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan, which happened Friday. Chief Judge Carl Ashley says county leaders are working to change the policy that allows federal agents to make arrests inside the courthouse.
In a perfect world, we would have the opportunity to have a courthouse where people would never have to worry about coming there for their activities. But the reality is there are legal parameters which allow the government to effectuate warrants. And we're not going to interfere with that.
Judge Dugan was arrested Friday after allegedly stopping ICE agents from taking an undocumented Mexican immigrant into custody at the courthouse. She faces felony obstruction charges.
2 more Milwaukee public schools set to close next month due to elevated lead levels, bringing the total to 6 schools now closed for cleanup over the past year. At least 4 students recently tested positive for elevated levels of lead in their blood. Milwaukee Health Commissioner Mike Todoritis saying it's a challenging time.
These are really important investments and stabilization activities to ensure that the children do not have long-term permanent brain damage.
Milwaukee officials say the city has more than 100 school buildings built before 1978 when lead paint was banned. Lead exposure can cause organ damage and long-term problems, including behavioral disorders.
The city had asked the Centers for Disease Control for help with lead remediation, but was told recent layoffs led to the complete loss of the CDC's lead program. ABC News did ask the Health Secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., about the rationale for cutting the lead program.
There were some programs that were cuts that are being reinstated, and I believe that that's one of them.
So far, there's been no indication the CDC's lead program's been restored.
President Trump today marks 100 days in office of this second administration.
President Trump hit the ground running, relying on executive actions to move his agenda forward, signing more than 140 since January 20th, according to the Federal Register. He has signed 5 bills into law. The first, the Laken-Riley Act, named for the 22-year-old Georgia nursing student who was killed allegedly by an undocumented migrant. as he promised on the campaign trail, the Trump administration taking action on immigration. ICE raids across the country targeting undocumented migrants. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Meanwhile, new warnings about the trade war with China. Experts are forecasting pandemic-like shortages in stores and potential recession by this summer. ABC's Christiane Cordero.
Some economists are sounding the alarm over tariff-related shortages in the coming weeks as the trade war with China shows no sign of easing. A union for West Coast dock workers releasing a scathing new statement claiming Trump's tariffs are nothing more than a direct attack on the working class and should be opposed outright. The ripple effect from tariffs coming as Americans face stubborn inflation. A new survey finds a quarter of U.S. consumers are now financing their groceries with buy now, pay later options.
The Wall Street Journal is reporting that the president is preparing to announce that he's going to give automakers a break on tariffs when he visits Michigan later today.
General Motors posted a strong first quarter profit, with the tariffs clouding the forecast for the remainder of the year.
GM made $2.8 billion in the first quarter, but earlier predictions of a rosy year ahead have now been put on hold. The reason, says Chief Financial Officer Paul Jacobson, tariffs.
We're telling folks not to rely on the prior guidance, and we'll update when we have more information around tariffs.
Jacobson says GM is having productive conversations with the Trump administration seeking more clarity on tariffs. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News.
Coming up, concerning new data on Wisconsin's deer herd. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:05.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
It's time. It's time your ad dollar reached far more than you thought possible. And it's time your ad message made a dramatic impact on your bottom line. The results we've brought our small business clients are significant, and there's no reason we can't bring you the same success, no matter what your ad budget is. So go to Anderson-Smith.com, hit the Contact Us button, email me, and I will call you in short order, because it is time. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. If you're buying and creating advertising for your small business, but you're not sure how to make it work, then I want you to know we can make radio or TV advertising work for you. Both are very powerful media, and both can be affordable. And we have a laundry list of notable long-term clients who will vouch for us. So if you have an interest in increasing the chances of your small business's advertising success, go to Anderson-Smith.com, hit the Contact Us button, send me a quick email, and I'll call you in short order. That's Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results.
Thank you, Milwaukee, for making the original Botanas the best Mexican restaurant for 25 years. Celebrate Botanas' anniversary during Cinco de Mayo, May 4th and 5th, with authentic Mexican dishes, cervezas, margaritas, and a mariachi band. 5th Street, just south of National.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:08.
Guys you don't know and never see having a major impact on the Brewers this season. We've got sports at 6:15.
Bucks All-Star guard Damian Lillard is out now. He'll have surgery after an MRI reveals a torn left Achilles tendon.
Studies and recent history suggest an average recovery time of around 10 months for elite basketball players returning from an Achilles tendon rupture. That would put Lillard out potentially until March of 2026. The 35-year-old Lillard is owed just over $54 million next season. He has a player option for $58 million the following year. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
So Game 5 is tonight. Bucks are down in the series 3-1. So Let's see what we got here. A 5 o'clock tip, 4:30 pregame right here on WTMJ.
10% of Wisconsin's deer sampled for chronic wasting disease tested positive for their neurological disorder. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live in the Breaking News Center.
That's right, Vince. The DNR says nearly 90% of deer testing positive in 2024 were in what's known as the southern farmland zone of Wisconsin. That's particularly this year, Richland, Sauk, and Iowa counties in the southwest part of the state. Now, 4 counties had their first wild CWD positive detection in 2024, and 1 deer in Milwaukee County of the over 500 sampled yielded a positive result. CWD is always fatal in deer, and while it has never transferred to humans, the CDC does recommend people avoid eating venison from CWD-infected animals.
Changes are coming to some classic snacks.
Lay's potato chips, bet you can't eat just one.
As Health Secretary Kennedy moves to phase out petroleum-based synthetic dyes, Lay's parent company says it'll stop using artificial colors by the end of the year. PepsiCo says the transition's already underway, with more than 60% of its products, which also include Tostitos, Doritos, and Cheetos, now made with natural color options. Some studies link petroleum-based chemicals to developmental and behavioral issues in kids. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 610. This report sponsored by Habish, and Rotier. Injured? Visit Habish.com.
A lot of law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, and Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Checking in with Debbie at 6:11.
Still a nice quiet ride right now, Vince. No major delays around the area. As I'm looking, we don't really have any incidents either, so everything seems to be rolling along pretty well so far. That's your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A cold front's moving through this morning. That is bringing breezy winds and dropping temperatures. Will start off well into the 60s this morning, falling into the 50s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear and chilly, low temperatures down in the 30s. Wednesday, we'll look for partly cloudy skies throughout the day. High temperatures around 50 by the lake, upper 50s inland. There will be the chance for some rain showers late Wednesday into Wednesday night. Rain showers are likely on Thursday with mostly cloudy skies and high temperatures in the 50s. Partly cloudy skies on Friday. Still a small chance for an isolated rain shower with temperatures in the mid-50s. And then plenty of sunshine to start off the weekend on Saturday with high temperatures in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee right now at 72 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
I mean, I guess it's good news. The potential severe weather that was predicted for southeast Wisconsin, largely a bust. And you could hear it. Craig Copleen was on with us in the morning, and then by the afternoon on Wisconsin's Afternoon News was still suggesting, almost apologetically, but saying, I can't say for sure we're even going to get storms.
Right. It was one of those situations where it was either going to be really bad.
Yes.
Or little to nothing. High bust potential was the term that I heard. So, yeah, it was not much in Wisconsin. We did have a tornado. We had a tornado come down in Eau Claire County Monday evening, specifically in Augusta, Wisconsin. So you'll hear about some damage potentially out of that, but no major injuries reported anywhere. No outages really across the state right now as far as that goes. In Minnesota, about an hour south of the Twin Cities, they did have some straight line winds and some issues there. But again, okay, this is Jonah Kaplan from WCCO.
Fate sometimes is only a matter of feet.
A tornado or straight-line winds ripped up a barn and shed like a piece of paper. A truck was overturned and upside down, but the home escaping without so much as a scratch. One of the residents telling us everyone is safe.
Yeah, so what we're hearing is damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles could have occurred, but it looks like for the most part, other than this twister that came down in Eau Claire, we were spared.
Saw a video of it. The only video that I saw posted, it was like a baby tornado, just barely forming, and at the moment that was captured on video, might have touched down at that moment.
Baby tornado.
National Weather Service is confirming that touchdown, but right, a baby twister is still a tornado.
Still don't want that near me.
At my house. 6:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Save big money now on pre-finished siding at Menards. Update and beautify your home with your choice of 13 timeless colors of pre-finished LP SmartSide engineered siding. It's durable and includes a Sherwin-Williams machine-applied paint warranty that means no painting for years to come. Save big money today on all LP SmartSide products. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you looking for expert physical or occupational therapy a little bit closer to home? Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, where they've just opened a brand new clinic in Germantown on County Line Road. We'd love to see you out at the grand opening event Thursday. That's this week. Thursday, May 1st, 5 to 7 p.m. You can meet the team. They'll have food and drinks. You can enter to win exciting giveaways. But most importantly, you can learn about free injury screening. Tour the facility. Meet some of the OAW therapists who help patients move, heal, and thrive. Experience top-quality, personalized care. Now in Washington County, right there in Germantown, you can make an appointment by calling 262-737-8706 or get started anytime at orthowisconsin.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Greg Doyle of the Indianapolis Star, columnist there. I'm going to read you a couple of sentences. We've reached the point of domination, of inevitability, the point in this 2025 NBA first-round playoff series where Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton is grabbing a defensive rebound and laughing at Bucks player Gary Trent Jr., who missed the shot. We've reached the point where Pacers center Miles Turner is blocking superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo on back-to-back possessions.
We still are alive. We still have a game.
Yeah, wait a minute. What's going on here?
Come on. We're at least a day premature.
Right. So the Bucks look to get off the mat tonight. That columnist talking all the smack already.
Well, he's not wrong.
Down 3-1 in the best-of-7 first-round playoff series, and it is official, by the way. Damian Lillard did tear his ACL. We told you about that on Monday. It is official, so he's out. And by the way, this is a big blow to the Bucks salary cap next year, having him go down now. Here's senior NBA insider Shams Charania from ESPN.
Having a player at $60 million, it really cripples your ability to add to this roster. So with him potentially gone for a full calendar year, what do you do with this roster being so tied up financially? And there are going to be some hard conversations in Milwaukee as they are down now 3-1.
When your day is long. So wait, so we're not just done now. We're done like forever?
Stop it. No, not yet. Not yet. Cut that. Bucks
Not
tonight.
ever.
Here we go. Bucks Pacers tonight. Game 5. 4:30 pregame, 5 o'clock tip right here on WDTMJ Radio.
Brewers back at it in Chicago tonight. 3-game series with the White Sox. Interesting comment from manager Pat Murphy the other night. Brewers had another call go against them in St. Louis that they successfully challenged in replay and won the challenge. And Murphy is pretty happy about that.
After a 7-1 victory to snap a 4-game losing streak, we could talk about the pitching, we could talk about the offense, but Pat Murphy wanted to make sure to talk about the replay room.
Another key of the game was our replays. That's not an easy one. That gets overlooked. They looked at it and saw that he might not have touched the base.
Now, the Brewers are a perfect 3 for 3 in the replay challenges this season.
Augie and Abdel, that's a game changer right there, so make sure they get print.
It's not print, but radio will do. For WTMJ, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
I tell you, you ever see a challenge? More frustrating than not challenging is when you challenge and you're like, no way that goes out.
Yeah, right.
What are they looking at in the replay room? You said those. You said those words.
Yes, absolutely.
What are they looking at back
Sitting on the couch.
Yes, and then you waste the challenge. Well, I guess our guys are on the top of their game.
Good.
Brewers and White Sox tonight at Rate Field in Chicago. 6:40 first pitch. We'll have the call on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee tonight. Milwaukee Admirals bring playoff hockey back to Milwaukee again this week in a season that saw the Ads sign an extension with their NHL affiliate, the Nashville Predators, through the 28-29 season. I talked with President of the Admirals, John Greenberg, about that great relationship.
They believe in winning at this level, and they really do appreciate what we do in terms of developing players off the ice, whether it's getting guys out in the community or just giving them access to living in a major league market. There's a lot of teams in the league that don't have what we have here in Milwaukee. And
I mean, case in point, we're going to play Rockford in the first round of the Calder Cup playoffs. I mean, Milwaukee's a much sexier city for some of these young guys to grow up in.
Sure.
It's always the opposite for us, right? Well, we want to be in New York, or we want to be in L.A., or we want to be who wants to be in Milwaukee or Green Bay. Now, we're the big boys, so that works out pretty well for the Ads. Great news for local hockey fans, and the Ads open the series against the Ice Hogs. Best of 5 series starts Thursday night at UWM Panther Arena. The puck drops Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, sure, old-time hockey. Like Eddie's Shore. Yeah.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You know, there was so much buzz surrounding the draft, but there is no draft if you have Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick right now if you don't, because you can take advantage of no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades as long as you order by April 30th. Time running out on this deal. You make a statement when you add Pella's architectural designs inside and out, maximum design flexibility. They've got talented designers who work with you on your project. Maybe you want to match your unique home's decor, or maybe you want to try something different. Go dramatic sizes, custom colors, finishes, profiles, product types, and more. And you're getting durable, distinguished details with all the Pella products standing the test of time. They confidently offer the best wood warranty in the industry. So don't miss out. Here's the deal right now, good till the end of the month. No interest financing options or free glass upgrades at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Certain restrictions do apply, and the deal ends this week, April 30th. So place your free in-home consultation today. Get started at PellaWI.com.
A whole day dedicated to us?
No, dedicated to you, the WTMJ fan.
Come celebrate WTMJ with us, your favorite WTMJ hosts, at a private tailgate at the Brewers game Saturday, May 17th.
Enjoy food, drinks, and hanging out with us. Plus tickets to the Brewers game as they take on the Twins at AmFam Field.
Get more information and secure your tickets at WTMJday.com.
Tickets will go fast, so sign up today.
We'll see you at the ballpark for WTMJ Day, Saturday, May 17th.
WTMJ Day is sponsored by Woodman's.
And 6:21, Debbie's got an update here on the morning drive.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. We've got full freeway speeds across the entire area. Nothing really to slow you down. Just a little quick tap of the brakes northbound 41 right past Mayfair Road up past North Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Big Fish Contracting. Visit bigfishcontracting.com. See how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry for the day today. Partly cloudy and windy, 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts. High of 65 early on. It will drop into the 50s later. Tonight, clear, chilly, a low of just 34 inland. For Wednesday, partly cloudy, chance for rain late tomorrow, a high of 58. 56 is the high on Thursday. Right now, 6:22, it's 72 degrees.
Announcement. Mother's Day is not this Sunday, but a week from Sunday. If that is news to you, better get going.
You're welcome.
Sometimes it sneaks up on you, right? You're like, did we check in with Mom about what we're doing for Mother's Day? Want to bring in friend of the program and founder of Milwaukee with Kids, MKEwithkids.com. Callie Herbst is live with us this morning. Yeah, moms don't like to hear it, but sometimes it sneaks up on you, Callie.
I mean, it sneaks up on me, too. I get it.
Okay,
I really do.
So I'm interested in, for families who have kids still at home, what things that we might do with Mom together. And that's, let me just lay it out for you. That's dubious because you still want to honor Mom. You want Mom to have a good time. You don't want her to have to run around and chase kids all day. So what are some of those family-friendly ideas that you can help us with?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, everybody's got their own, way of celebrating Mother's Day. Some people, the dad will take the kids out, or you go and visit grandma, or you have brunch somewhere. But we just wanted to round up on the website some of the places that are offering free admission for moms, so that if you did want to go out and spend time as a family, out around Milwaukee, at least you get that little treat of free admission. So like the zoo offers free admission for moms on Mother's Day, the public museum, places that are kind of a little more of a day trip, like East Troy Railroad. Moms can ride the train free, which is such a fun day if you've never been out there. It's like you ride this electric railroad from the depot to Elegant Farmer. It's so cute. And then Bookworm Gardens up in Sheboygan, which is a lovely place to spend Mother's Day. So, yeah, there's a whole long list of places that are offering that.
You know, that East Troy deal, my mom was just out with my nephew, so her grandson, and it was something that she did with my kids and whatever. That is a really cool thing, especially if you have kids who are nuts for trains, to be able to ride a real train. That's a pretty special deal.
Yeah, it's so unique. And the other place that is offering free admission for moms is the Harley-Davidson Museum. And this is a great idea for Mother's Day because the museum itself is great for all ages. Like we went with our kids and our parents, and all generations really loved it. It's super interactive and interesting with all the history. But the whole campus there is so nice. So if you get a nice day on Mother's Day, it's right on the river. It's really expansive, plenty of room for the kids to run around. Plenty to look at. And then they have that motor restaurant there, which will offer Mother's Day brunch. So it's kind of all there for you.
Kelly, what is your dream scenario for Mother's Day?
Well, actually, I'm going on like a girls' week.
Yes.
There you go.
Well done.
Congrats.
But yeah. But I'm going to come back. Like we'll do dinner or something together. But it just so happened that was the week that we all had free to get together. But I'll appreciate any little cards or any. That's all I care about is just making me a little card and something like that, something special and small.
FaceTiming Sunday morning while you're enjoying your mimosa. It sounds great.
Exactly. Sounds perfect. Yeah.
I got to tell you, there's no shame in that for moms. If what you really want for Mother's Day is to be left the hell alone for a little while, I'm good with that. Husbands should be good with that. Parents and grandparents should be good with that.
Yeah. I think people just, it's just a time to. I think it's just the little special cards that are the most meaningful. It's just like a birthday. It's just a day for you to tell the person how much they mean to you. That's all.
Talking with Callie Herbst, founder of Milwaukee with Kids, mkewithkids.com. Breakfast in bed, yay or nay?
Oh, well, it was always cute when the kids were little and you'd have to act surprised, but you had heard all the clanging downstairs. Yeah. That was always great. No, but I think that's super sweet. Now my older son can actually make a real breakfast. So I think that, yes, I would say yes to breakfast in bed or just breakfast in general. A homemade meal is a wonderful way to show you love someone.
And the list up on the website, mkewithkids.com, of all these places that we talked about this morning?
It's all there, plus so much more happening this weekend. Free and fun and just kind of must-do events for the month of May that you won't want to miss, really.
You can stop by and visit that boat that's beached. It still hasn't moved it, right? That's an attraction.
Yeah, say goodbye to that thing, yeah.
Right. All right, happy Mother's Day to you, Kelly, if we don't talk before then.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
It's Callie Herbst at MilwaukeeWithKids.com. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 114 points. It closed at 40,228. The NASDAQ was off 16 to 17,366. S&P 500 up just a few points to 5529. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at AnnexWealth.com.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Amish outdoor furniture with poly and wood available. And that poly is the richest of outdoor furniture. It's just about indestructible and will virtually last forever. At Erickson's, we have poly furniture in abundance, so you're guaranteed to see a great selection. The beauty of it is you can put it outside all year round and not worry about it, because the color runs all the way through, so it doesn't fade, and minor nicks and scratches won't hurt the look. Erickson's Landscape Supply. For an abundant selection of poly and wood Amish outdoor furniture, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better selection of metal yard art than we have here at Erickson's. Anything from natural and painted metal signs to painted roosters from 1 to 6 feet tall. Natural steel flying ducks and cattails. Cute little frogs, geckos, pigs, flamingos, and goats. And palm trees. The list is endless. And that's why you come here. Erickson's Landscape Supply, right on Spring Street in Union Grove, where you'll find a fantastic array of artisanal metal yard art. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Or better yet, drive on over and take a gander at the goods.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like a free Wild Bite fishing kit when you spend $50 on fishing gear. Save $30 on all Kurt towing hitches, and all Blazer trailer lighting is 25% off. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Just about 6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Tuesday, April 29th. Our top story, fire destroyed a former Kenosha bar.
I'm Erik. Bilstad, reduced charges for a former prison warden.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Got some delays now. Northbound on 41 from Watertown Plank Road up past North Avenue. We've also got a broken down vehicle on 4394 southbound, just south of Beecher, so watch out for that. It luckily is off on the right shoulder, just something to keep in mind. Rest of the system looks great. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today is a bit interesting. We're already at our high temperature. And we'll have partly cloudy skies, windy and falling temperatures. Should be in the 50s by the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear. Chilly low of 37 at the lake, 34 degrees inland. And right now, as I mentioned, already at our high temperature of 72 degrees.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. As the Trump administration marks 100 days in office for President Trump, the White House tariff policies are beginning to cause concern.
Some economists are sounding the alarm over tariff-related shortages in the coming weeks as the trade war with China shows no sign of easing. A union for West Coast dock workers releasing a scathing new statement claiming Trump's tariffs are nothing more than a direct attack on the working class and should be opposed outright. The ripple effect from tariffs coming as Americans face stubborn inflation. A new survey finds a quarter of U.S. consumers are now financing their groceries with buy now, pay later options.
That's ABC's Christiane Cordero. The Liberals retaining power in Canada's election that took place on Monday. The Pentagon investigating how a $70 million F-18 fighter jet fell off a U.S. aircraft carrier into the Red Sea. Central Illinois police investigating why a car plowed into a building, killing 4. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, fire destroyed a former off-highway bar in Kenosha. Fire officials still on scene. The place was called Old Uncle Mike's Highway Pub. Fire started about 3 in the morning. Right now, no reports of any injuries.
Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan is facing felony obstruction charges, accused of stopping ICE agents from arresting an undocumented Mexican immigrant at the courthouse. Now, retired county judge Mary Kumench is Judge Dugan's former colleague. Kumench tells WTMJ's Point Taken she's reviewed the circumstances.
This gentleman ended up getting out on the street. He could have knocked people over. He makes the officers race after him. They are put in harm's way. That a judge then inserts themselves in the process, which results in a fleeing situation, which is dangerous. I think Judge Dugan has a good heart. I think she was trying to do the right thing. But as a judge, you just cannot insert yourself where you're now considered an advocate as opposed to a neutral.
Dugan's arraignment is set for May 15th.
Over 24 international students and alumni from the University of Wisconsin-Madison will be allowed to stay. Students' F1 visa statuses were reversed late Saturday night, allowing 27 to continue their academic work and training at UW-Madison. In recent weeks, international students and alumni at colleges and universities across the country saw their visas terminated without explanation, forcing them to leave the country. At least 2 students at UW-Madison obtained restraining orders against that change.
Plea deal for a former Waupun prison warden implicated in 2 inmate deaths. Randall Hepp now pleading no contest as part of that deal. His felony misconduct charge is now a misdemeanor. 8 members of Hepp's staff were charged in June with abuse or misconduct in the deaths of Cameron Williams and Donald Mayer at Waupun Correctional. Hepp could now face just 30 days behind bars.
No jail time for the guy who was driving the wrong way on I-94 and nearly clipped Vice President Kamala Harris' motorcade during a campaign visit by the VP last year. 55-year-old Wayne Wacker did plead guilty to disorderly conduct and negligent operation of a motor vehicle. A judge stayed a prison sentence and placed Walker on 12 months probation. He has to pay a $500 fine.
New plan for addressing lead in Milwaukee Public Schools as 2 more schools are set to close. The district's lead action plan is outlining those steps for addressing future lead remediation. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius.
I hope that this plan will provide for parents some comfort in that we do have a plan. We are working with the health department, that this is a new day and a new beginning for moving forward.
Students and staff at Brown Street School and Westside Academy will relocate to Douglas Middle School in May.
Wisconsin student athletes can now profit off their name, their image, and likeness for the first time in about a month from now. The CEO of Influential Athlete, Stephanie Grady, telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News what NIL can look like.
Whether they're doing that with local businesses in their hometown or eventually their college town, or they're looking to work with e-commerce companies or some of the bigger corporations out there.
It's different from college. According to the WIAA, school districts cannot profit from NIL.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34. Coming up, so who wins this fight?
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Rich Lawns Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlawns.com when you're due for service.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
So an NHL team doesn't make the playoffs, and that's good news for Milwaukee. That story in sports at 6:45.
The internet oftentimes can be just a pool of crud, right? But sometimes the internet can make you smile.
Really delivers.
It can really deliver. And for whatever reason, this has come up now. Someone posted on X less than a week ago the question, who would win in a fight, a gorilla or 100 men? And now this has taken storm on all of the socials. Serious debate about whether or not, yes, a gorilla would beat 100 men. And here's how it reads in USA Today.
Okay, this is on USA Today. Somebody just posted this question, this interrogative statement.
It's been posted before on Reddit. This most recent question, this hypothetical, is thrown up on X. While most debates, especially online, aren't so clear-cut, the majority agrees that even the most skilled men are no match for a gorilla. But there are some who think that the 100 men in question could defeat a gorilla with enough dedication. I think the discussion itself is fascinating. Our favorite part, I think, are the memes. The memes that have gone along with this. There's one meme that shows a gorilla climbing into a car, and it says, "Here's the gorilla after taking care of 100 guys."
He's driving away in your car.
There's one that says, "There are 100 men I would love to put in a cage with a gorilla. Please let me choose them."
Okay.
And then my favorite from Mr. Beast, of course, "Need 100 men to test this. Any volunteers?" Meaning like this
Wants to do it.
Yeah, it'll be on Netflix or something here pretty soon. Fascinating discussion. Of course, my boys got into this too. They were talking about it yesterday.
Were they the ones who alerted you to this, or did you just stumble on it in nature?
It came about and then became the very deep conversation about whether or not 100 men could actually defeat a gorilla.
Because there are two aspects to this. First, the viral aspect of how did this catch fire and now is in
Right,
USA
yes.
Today. But
Yeah.
the other is the actual debate.
Right.
Which you can choose to
Which
engage
is
in.
actually, you know what, you got to think about. I mean, 100 men, that's a lot. And a gorilla would tire at some point. Who knows?
What was Jagler's thing always? Remember John Jagler with us at WTMJ for many years now in the state legislature?
About what you would use in a fight or what would he prefer to defend himself
Yeah.
with?
He always had a litmus test when he met somebody new. Hey, I got a question for you. It was golf club or hammer? Like, what?
That was
You're
his
in a fight.
icebreaker.
Golf club or hammer? And then you'd have to break it down with Jagler. I can't remember which his preferred weapon was.
I bet I could text him and get you an answer here. And
You're a hammer, right?
I definitely a hammer.
I'm golf club.
Really?
I'm keeping you at bay.
Well, so-
You're far away from me now.
Where are you in the gorilla debacle?
100 men?
You still want to be in that first round of men that are going at him.
Right, the first wave. I want to hang back after the gorilla's been weakened. 20 minutes before 7 o'clock on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Trees on the Move and J&B Construction. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. We're getting close now. Starting to heat up. We've had the measurements done for our new windows. CJ's been texting all kinds of different ideas and questions for us as we go through the process. Really looking forward to taking advantage of these new windows from Tri-County Contracting. Tell you all the time about the worry-free roof tune-up and the other opportunities in purchases that you can make from Tri-County Contracting. They also do the windows. Doing it for years. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
We know for small business advertisers, every dollar counts. And that's why you hear our advertisers over and over on this station, as well as every other Milwaukee radio station. Because the power of repetition is real. Go to the Our Clients page of Anderson-Smith.com and see just how many you're familiar with. And check out their real advertising success stories. You'll learn why our clients stay with us for years and years. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. We know you work hard to make your small business the best it can be. And we understand you deserve to have your advertising work as hard as you do. That's why we focus on only the most efficient ways to assure your ad message makes the most impact it possibly can. With millions of dollars in annual billing and dozens of satisfied clients, Anderson Smith has the leverage and know-how to amplify your advertising. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because it's time we grow your business.
Checking in with Debbie here at 642.
Okay, so far looking at a pretty normal ride. It is slow on northbound 41 from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up past North Avenue. A little bit slow on the southbound side, too, heading past Appleton Avenue down towards Silver Spring. But the rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A cold front's moving through this morning. That is bringing breezy winds and dropping temperatures. Will start off well into the 60s this morning, falling into the 50s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear and chilly, low temperatures down in the 30s. Wednesday, we'll look for partly cloudy skies throughout the day. High temperatures around 50 by the lake, upper 50s inland. There will be the chance for some rain showers late Wednesday into Wednesday night. Rain showers are likely on Thursday with mostly cloudy skies and high temperatures in the 50s. Partly cloudy skies on Friday, still a small chance for an isolated rain shower with temperatures in the mid-50s, and then plenty of sunshine to start off the weekend on Saturday with high temperatures in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now it's 72.
Big day today for the White House. President Trump marking 100 days in office. We're 100 days in.
It's so interesting. I always debate whether we should pay attention to this because it's a fake number. It doesn't mean anything. But every administration talks about, in my first 100 days, we're going to do. So
he has signed more than 140 executive actions since January 20th. He has signed 5 bills into law. The first, the Lake and Riley Act, named for the young woman, the Georgia nursing student who was killed, allegedly by an undocumented migrant. A lot of promises on the campaign trail that he's followed up on, says Senator Ron Johnson.
Well, I think more than any president in my lifetime, Donald Trump in his first term and his second time are honoring those promises. Whether I necessarily agree with all of them or not, he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
Well, right. Not sure if you agree with them all, but he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do, says the senator who is on 101.7 The Truth's Tori Lowe on his program on Monday. He says he's happy with the president's push on some things.
In most situations, I couldn't be happier that he's acting boldly, swiftly, and decisively to secure the border, to begin deporting criminals that are a clear and present danger to this nation. The fact that he's doing everything he can to end the wars in the Middle East, in Ukraine.
But the senator says,
I'm concerned about his tariffs. Every time he would say that was the most beautiful word in the English language, I would wince. Tariffs are a tax. I mean, they're a tax on consumer goods.
Yeah, so Johnson on 101.7 The Truth saying that, the tariff thing isn't quite working. Now, there is some news on this. The president is expected in Michigan today, talking to the big three, the automakers there. And he is, according to the Wall Street Journal, going to soften some of those tariffs to help the big three out a little bit.
I ran into a buddy who works at one of the major auto dealerships here. I'm like, how's the car business? He's like, good today. We'll see.
Yeah.
So that would be welcome news for those in that industry or if you're looking for a car. 645 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets Milwaukee. I've told you how my front hall closet looks after our project. You can text closet to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620 if you want to see it. Want to see how your project will look? Visit Inspired Closets Milwaukee and use their new augmented reality tool. It's called Envision, and it will transform how you see and implement home organization systems. You put on these goggles, and it's like you're in your newly designed garage or pantry or bedroom or closet. No guesswork. You know exactly how it's going to look, function, and feel in your home. When you work with my friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets Milwaukee, stop in, tell them Vinny sent you to give it a try. Or check out the video. It's up on their website right now. Inspired Days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Win or go home. That's how it goes for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. They're down 3-1 in their best-of-7 series against the Pacers, first round of the playoffs. Game 5 is tonight in Indianapolis. They got to win, and they'll do it without Dame. They'll have to. Dame Lillard is out for the foreseeable future. This isn't an easy recovery. He does have an Achilles tear, as we reported from Chris from NBA Insider yesterday. So we kind of knew this. The Bucks confirmed it later on in the day. The trouble now is what's going to be the future of the Bucks. You have no idea what they look like. He's owed a lot of money, and he's likely not going to play much next year. So what do you do moving forward? Bucks tonight, and the Pacers got to win 5 o'clock tip right here on WTMJ Radio 4:30 pregame.
Brewers and White Sox tonight at Rate Field in Chicago. Apparently that's the name of the place now.
Savages.
It's a 3-game series before we head home to face the Cubs at American Family Field. Tonight's game, because of the Bucks, is going to be on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. 6:40 is the first pitch. Playoff hockey back in Milwaukee Thursday night as the Admirals open a best-of-5 series against Rockford in this first round. Bad news for the Ads NHL affiliate. The Nashville Predators did not make the playoffs. That is good news for us here in Milwaukee.
Nashville didn't make the playoffs this year, so we've got our full complement of guys that have been up there, and this is as loaded as our roster could be. So
it's President of Milwaukee Admirals John Greenberg talking with me this week. Now, here's the thing: we play Rockford in this first series, the Ice Hogs, and
it's always great to go in as fully loaded as you can, and we're playing Rockford. They're the Blackhawks affiliate. They've got all their players too, so it should be a great series.
Yeah, Blackhawks also didn't make the playoffs, so actually going to have a lot of guys on the ice who've had more than a cup of coffee in the NHL. This is going to be good hockey on the ice here in Milwaukee. The puck drops at 7 o'clock for Game 1 on Thursday. That's at UWM Panther Arena.
You want to roll your eyes quick?
Yeah.
You appreciate a good eye roll?
Okay.
All right, so the Packers have their first pick, right, as a receiver that everyone was really excited about, Matthew Golden. Well, you know who wasn't excited about it? Christian Watson's brother. In a live stream that the Journal Sentinel has a link to. Listen to what he says about the big pick.
13-time world champion Green Bay Packers.
These idiots, man.
First time since 2002. Draft a wide receiver.
Yeah, he was not happy. His dad also on this same podcast ripping the Packers for picking a receiver in the first round.
Man. How, if you're Christian Watson, do you show up for work that first OTA?
And what do you say to your dad and brother? Hey, help me out here.
You're not helping me. This is where I work, man.
Right.
And he may or may not even agree with him, but either way, you're not helping me.
Yeah, and who are you doing this for anyway?
You want your brother out begging on WTMJ?
No.
They added a 4th hour to Erik's show. How do they expect him to do that? What are they thinking over there at WTMJ?
Stop.
Don't help me. 10 to 7 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
This is a load off my mind, and they did an amazing job. Vince Vitrano here for Landworks, Wisconsin. I get anxious about it every spring. Got to get that mulch down. Flower beds look terrible. Do I order a delivery? When will it come then? How much do I order? Where do I park the cars while that pile is sitting in my driveway? When will I be able to get to it? Also, it's hard work that I don't much enjoy. You see where I'm going with this. So I had Joe over to the house from Landworks. Showed him around where I need the mulch, talked about colors, done. I came home the other day, Landworks Wisconsin had come and gone. The flower beds are summer patio ready. Leave it to the pros, take it off your plate, and it looks amazing. Tell them Vinny sent you to Landworks. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Okay, adventurers, listen up. Fox World Travel just dropped some seriously incredible Fox Group vacation destinations for 2026. Set sail on a yacht through the Croatian coastline, join a thrilling African safari, or immerse yourself in the mecca of all flower shows in London. And for the first time, we're introducing a woman's-only tour, partnering with Insight Vacations, Globus, and African Travel. But these are just a few of the exclusive offerings. But don't wait. They're filling up fast. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO to reserve your spot today.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Vitrano.
Just released by Vatican News, the conclave to elect a new pope will begin on May 7th.
Erik Bilstad.
Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan could face 6 years in prison.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
On northbound 41 from about Watertown Plank Road all the way up past North Avenue. We got that road work going on through there.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:52.
All right, looking pretty good out there. We've gotten some building volume on northbound 43 now, right around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. Westbound 94 tightening up right through the stadium interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 41, we got some backups now from before Blue Mound Road all the way up past North. Southbound 41 backing up just south of Main Street all the way down to about Silver Springs. So that's going to be our heaviest spot right now. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Already at our high temperature of 72 degrees today. Temperatures will be dropping in the afternoon. By the afternoon and early evening, we'll be in the 50s under partly cloudy skies. Windy as well. Mostly clear tonight. Chilly low of 37, 34 degrees inland. For Wednesday, partly cloudy with a chance of rain late. High 50 at the lake, 58 inland. And Thursday, rain is likely under mostly cloudy skies. High 56. Again, Milwaukee at 72. 6:53 on Wisconsin's Morning News. The Bucks win or go home tonight in Indianapolis, bringing in friend of the program and two-time Sports Writer of the Year, Lori Nickel of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Lori, Erik says the Bucks are done not only tonight but forever.
Well, I didn't go.
I heard that.
No. Actually, that's kind of
seriously, Lori. Though, like serious concern though with Lillard likely missing most, if not all, of next year, and given the amount of money they owe him, this is catastrophic.
Right. No, actually, so I can understand your concern, and I think that's a great question. But if you want to read the best article I've read about this, Jim Ozarski, my teammate at the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, put the story up about an hour ago, and it's all about, yes, they are 70% of the Bucks' salary cap for next year is devoted to Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Damian is going to collect that $54 million guaranteed as he rehabilitates. That is an issue. 70% is a lot of the money, but there is some flexibility, and he maps it out pretty well. It's still a huge concern. And also what's interesting is that they just extended GM John Horst on Thursday. Quietly, while everybody was covering the first day of the NFL draft, the Bucks kind of said, well, that's when the news broke. So it's going to be all up to John Horst to make this happen.
Any chance we win tonight, we kind of rally behind the, being down. And
you said they're better without Dame.
I asked.
Yeah, and that's a valid question, too. I love predictions so much, Vinny. I just
yes.
love
Tell me
them
what will happen.
so much. They can, but Indiana is just so impressive with their depth. Also, just reading about and following the Pacers so much, we've seen them so much. It feels like a second team. They have such a clear identity, and I'm realizing the Bucks have not had a clear identity all year. And think about the transition. I mean, Chris Middleton gone. He's a cornerstone of this franchise. Damian Lillard out for March, April now. So, they can pull it off. A blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. I don't want to say that. I mean, they have the talent, but Indiana's just really good with the depth.
Hey, I did want to ask you about the really nice piece that you wrote over the weekend on the NFL draft, and you shared some of the sentiments that I know I was experiencing, having first covered the Packers and been around them in the early to mid-'90s, and seeing the transformation, not just of Lambeau Field, not just of the Green Bay Packers, but because of that, a lot of the transformation that happened around Green Bay. And I said it, anybody who ever parked their car at Kmart to go to a game understood exactly where you were coming from about all of these changes.
It's unrecognizable up there now. I parked at a house just off of Ridge Road that's just 2 blocks from Lambeau, and I was so excited until I realized nobody's lived in this house for years and years and years. It's a party house now. It's kind of, the windows were kind of trash and stuff. It's changed so much. Lombardi Avenue used to be all normal houses, residences, and now it's these 3-story Airbnb party places. Even the houses that are right against the parking lot at Lambeau Field. I don't see anybody who lives there anymore. Lambeau Field was dropped into the middle of a residential area at the time that it was built in 1957. And Green Bay, love it or hate it, stayed in the 50s and 60s basically till 2009, 2008 or whatever. So it's really changed. I'm glad I saw it when it was like that, and it's cool to see the progress now.
However, you don't want to lose all of that small town charm. And I do feel like the community has balanced that fairly well. My brother still lives up there, and I was up there for many years. There's still enough old school Green Bay. I mean, Kroll's is still across the street.
Right.
Chili John's is down the way. Like, there's still enough old Green Bay that you can be nostalgic for.
That's a really good point. Is that part of their marketing, part of their selling point? Do they need to preserve that? That's an excellent point. I didn't think of that, to be honest.
Well, because you don't want it to look like every other place. It can't be Jerry's World North, right?
Yeah, right. And that's really true. And you want to see people, like you run into coaches and athletes at the gas station,
yes,
just like normal. You know, it's called the fishbowl for a reason. But the progress has also been welcome too. I'm glad to see it grow up a little bit.
All right, appreciate you, Lori. We'll talk next week.
Thanks so much.
You,
I'm not predicting anything.
I understand.
I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not predicting. Okay. So thanks, guys.
Still be alive next
Take care.
Public service, courage, bravery, sacrifice. These are terms used to describe those who work in public safety who go above and beyond each and every day of their lives. If you have a police officer, dispatcher, fire professional, or an emergency nurse who impacted your life, in May we'll honor the best examples of paying it forward, sharing the tremendous stories of these local heroes. Nominate your local hero at WTMJ.com. Click on the Salute to Service banner at the top, or by texting SALUTE to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line.
It's Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
A Rolex isn't as cheap as a Casio, but while they last, you can buy high-end Beautyrest Black and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for nowhere near high-end prices. Hassellus Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models, like a Beautyrest Black LX Hybrid was $3,599, but now it's just $971. Only a few remain, and they will sell out. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
It's Game 5 and the Bucks are trying to stay alive in the NBA playoffs.
It's Giannis racing ahead, plows right through his man, lays it in with a foul, and that was the full Greek Freak experience.
Our coverage against the Pacers starts today at 4:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, April 29th, our top story, the lead crisis growing for Milwaukee Public Schools.
I'm Erik Bilstad, the first 100 days.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We got some delays eastbound 94 from just before 84th Street all the way almost to Hawley Road. Westbound's tightening up right through the Stadium interchange. Northbound 41's backed up from just south of Watertown Plank Road up past North Avenue. Little more delays right past Hampton. On the southbound side, got some backup south of Main Street all the way down through to about Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Already at today's high of 71 degrees, partly cloudy and windy today. Temperatures falling in the afternoon, mostly clear. Chilly lows tonight, 37 Lakeside, 34 inland. At 7:02 from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Public Schools will relocate students and staff for 2 more schools in May. Lead cleanup efforts continue across the district.
Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius says Brown Street School students will move to Andrew Douglas Middle School on May 12th, while Westside Academy students will move May 5th.
I know moving a school is incredibly disruptive, and I can't express my sincere gratitude enough to everyone for their patience, their understanding, and partnership.
The district's new lead action plan says schools must relocate if inspections find unsafe lead levels in more than half of a building's rooms or painted surfaces. At MPS headquarters, Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
We are hearing from the top judge in Milwaukee County following the arrest of Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan by FBI agents. The chief judge, Carl Ashley, says county leaders are working to change policy that allows the feds to make arrests inside the courthouse.
In a perfect world, we would have the opportunity to have a courthouse where people would never have to worry about coming there for their activities. But the reality is there are legal parameters which allow the government to effectuate warrants. And we're not going to interfere with that.
Judge Dugan was arrested Friday after allegedly stopping ICE agents from taking an undocumented Mexican immigrant into custody at the courthouse. She faces felony obstruction charges.
President Trump today marking 100 days in office of this second administration.
In just over 3 months, the Trump administration has shuttered the U.S. Agency for International Development and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, started the process to dismantle the Department of Education, and made significant cuts to the workforces at the Department of Health and Human Services, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Internal Revenue Service. At least 217 lawsuits have been filed challenging the administration's actions, 15 explicitly related to DOGE. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The White House is dismissing hundreds of scientists who were working on a major climate report.
The National Climate Assessment is required by Congress every few years. It looks at how global warming will impact our economy and health and helps local governments plan for floods, droughts, and other weather-related problems. Yesterday, the volunteer researchers working on the 2028 report got an email telling them they are being let go as the scope of the climate report is being reevaluated. President Trump has long been a skeptic of climate change.
All of this with the global warming and that, a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Projections in Canada this morning suggest the Liberal Party will retain control in Canadian Parliament.
The Liberal Party, led by Prime Minister Mark Carney, have won Canada's federal election. The election campaign was dominated by the spectre of President Donald Trump, sparking a dramatic turnaround in their fortunes. Carney will now have to form a new government, having promised to stand up to the United States, and how to deal with Donald Trump will be at the top of their agenda. Addressing a crowd after the election win, Carney saying Monday night,
"Our old relationship with the United States, a relationship based on steadily increasing integration, is over."
Guy Davies, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Coming up, a tornado touchdown in Wisconsin. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:05.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
If you haven't called Siding Unlimited for new windows, what are you waiting for? This is Erik Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I want to share with you a couple stories. Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, "I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. Loved her windows were warmer and her roof didn't leak. Also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they do it every day with compassion and with empathy. They've got locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I've been to the locations. I love how they treat the people who live there. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They offer early memory loss classes. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. Kindness at the core. It's Azura Living. Check them out at azuraliving.com. It's Azura.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
You can't beat Bernhardt.
New Berlin and Fox Point.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Guys you don't know and you don't see on the broadcast, but they're having an impact on the Brewers' season. Manager Pat Murphy talks about that in sports at 7:15.
The severe weather didn't quite pack its punch as we were watching the forecast on Monday evening into the overnight. However, the state did see its first tornado late Monday in the northwestern portion.
A funnel cloud was spotted forming near Augusta in Eau Claire County. The National Weather Service says a tornado touched down just before 8:15 Monday night. Multiple tornado warnings were issued for western Wisconsin. The worst of the storm then moved east across the northern part of the state. The National Weather Service will assess the damage in Augusta today. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
4 people died after a car went slamming into an after-school program building in central Illinois. CBS News correspondent Ian Lee is there.
Authorities say 3 of the deceased were struck outside the building and another inside, leaving a gaping hole on the side of the structure. At least 6 people were transported to the hospital, 1 by helicopter. The driver was also taken to the hospital, but was not hurt.
Illinois State Police believe this was not a targeted attack, but they are still investigating.
We are getting more information now out of Vancouver about the suspect in this past weekend's car ramming attack.
Police say 30-year-old Kai G. Adam Lowe was known to police, but did not have a criminal background. He faces 8 counts of second-degree murder after authorities say he plowed into a festival crowd Saturday night. At least 11 people have died. 10 others are in critical or serious condition at area hospitals. More charges are expected. Elise Preston, CBS News, Vancouver, British Columbia.
Coming up, Ring Out Ahoya. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:09.
At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today. He told us to load 4 yards into his 8-foot bed, but we knew that 3 full, honestly measured yards were going to fill his truck bed to the rim. After we proved that, he told us the other guys have been telling him he's been getting 4 yards in there for years. Honest measurements and honest folks who just want to do you right. So you come back. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Debbie's got an update on the morning drive.
Yeah, so far it's pretty typical stuff. Northbound 43 backing up from about Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keefe. Southbound on 41, you've got backups as you're making your way towards the 145 exit all the way down past Appleton Avenue, almost to Silver Spring. Northbound's backed up from Blue Mound Road up past North Avenue. And then on eastbound 94, got some backups from 92nd Street all the way to about 76th. And then again from 70th to Holly Road. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A cold front's moving through this morning. That is bringing breezy winds and dropping temperatures. Will start off well into the 60s this morning, falling into the 50s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear and chilly, low temperatures down in the 30s. Wednesday, we'll look for partly cloudy skies throughout the day. High temperatures around 50 by the lake, upper 50s inland. There will be the chance for some rain showers late Wednesday into Wednesday night. Rain showers are likely on Thursday with mostly cloudy skies and high temperatures in the 50s. Partly cloudy skies on Friday, still a small chance for an isolated rain shower with temperatures in the mid-50s, and then plenty of sunshine to start off the weekend on Saturday with high temperatures in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now it's 71 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
7:12 on this Tuesday morning on the campus of Marquette University.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Marquette will officially install its 25th president, Dr. Kimu Ayun. Mass and installation ceremony will be this morning at the Al McGuire Center. Dr. Ayun is not new to Marquette. Been serving as acting president since the passing of Dr. Michael Lovell and was also the provost and executive vice president for academic affairs, previously the dean of the College of Communication. So he's worked his way up at MU. Also is a Marquette parent. His son attends Marquette right now, so you can get an earful from him anytime.
That's a smart play, probably.
Dad, why are you doing this? The theme for today's events, Eric, open your heart, find your compass, change the world. So I did get some perspective from WTMJ's Jeff Sherman. He's a proud MU grad. And Jeff had Dr. Ayun on the program, The Upswing, and he is definitely a student-centered academic.
We are called to transform the lives of our students, and so we keep first and foremost, how are we ensuring a quality student experience? High-impact practices, making sure they have the right spaces to learn, making sure they have the right faculty there to be able to teach them.
So from what I hear from students, and my son's going to go to Marquette in the fall, so I've been a little bit more connected to the community of late than I had been. There's more there, though. Like, what do you care? Honestly, what do you care if you didn't go to Marquette or you don't have a student there? You know, what interest is of this?
Yes, why is this a deal?
I do think it is a position of community leadership outside of simply the Marquette footprint. And Marquette does turn out a lot of bright young people who remain in this area and enter our workforce in various professions. So who leads that institution is important beyond simply campus.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting. We're going to have Jeff join us after 9 o'clock this morning.
What happens at the ceremony? Is there like anything like super unique, you wonder, right? Like, do like
some sort of sacred tradition?
Yeah, or fire walking or something. I don't know. Like,
I've not heard that there's fire walking, but I see where you're going. Is there some Jesuit tradition or something along that line, perhaps?
Mm-hmm. Well, 10 at the L, you say, right?
Yes. We'll have Jeff on just after 9 o'clock this morning to look forward to what this presidency looks like for the university, but also for Milwaukee and Wisconsin. That installation mass and ceremony, 10 o'clock this morning. You can live stream the event on Marquette's website if you cannot attend and are so interested.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. For more than 8 years, QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain. You heard that right. Non-surgical relief. More than 50,000 patients who had knee pain, back pain, now living pain-free. Those with shoulder and hip pain, it's gone. The regenerative cell therapy restores tissues in your achy joints. Dr. Caravelli's team uses biologic growth factors with robust healing properties carefully and strategically placed in your joint. And there's no surgery. Remember that. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing the old tissue. Here's what you do. You call today, 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlands. Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
So here's how the first paragraph goes in Greg Doyle's column of the Indianapolis Star as it pertains to the Bucks-Pacers series. We've reached the point of domination, of inevitability, the point in this playoff series where Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton is grabbing a rebound and laughing at the Milwaukee player Gary Trent Jr. who missed the shot. We've reached that point where the Pacers must just move on.
Hang on, did we lose the first series already?
Stop it. Stop it. This music cannot be finished. Stop it. Turn it off. No, there's a game tonight.
You know what? Just for that. I'm so glad this guy wrote that. Just for that. I don't care what happens after this. I hope we stick it to him and win this series.
Yeah.
Just for that.
That would
Are you
be pretty
crazy,
awesome.
man? That's terrible karma.
No. I mean, he's basically saying the Pacers are the better team.
So far. Who said that 2 weeks ago? Me.
Yeah, you did. So, Bucks and Pacers tonight. Let's see. 5 o'clock tip, 4:30 pregame right here on WTMJ Radio. They got to win to stay in. Game 6 is back here at home. Also, Bucks guard Damian Lillard. It is now official. He did tear his ACL. We told you that on Monday, but now the Bucks are confirming that. I'm sorry, what did I say? His ACL? It's his Achilles. Yep, it's his Achilles. And that's not good. It's not good for this year, and it's not good for next year. And plus, you owe him a lot of money. This is ESPN's Shams Charania.
Having a player at $60 million, it really cripples your ability to add to this roster. So with him potentially gone for a full calendar year, what do you do with this roster being so tied up financially? And there are going to be some hard conversations in Milwaukee as they are down now 3-1.
Stop it.
Man,
Stop it.
Can we possibly 3 in a row? And then just whatever happens after that.
Seriously, I don't want to hear any more Michael Stipe. I'm serious.
Till tomorrow. Brewers back at it in Chicago tonight. 3-game series with the White Sox. Kind of an interesting comment here from manager Pat Murphy the other night. Brewers had another call go against him in St. Louis that the Brewers successfully challenged in replay. They won the challenge, and manager Pat Murphy is pretty happy about that.
After a 7-1 victory to snap a 4-game losing streak, we could talk about the pitching, we could talk about the offense, but Pat Murphy wanted to make sure to talk about the replay room.
Another key of the game was our replays. That's not an easy one. That gets overlooked. They looked at it and saw that he might not have touched the base.
Now, the Brewers are a perfect 3 for 3 in their replay challenges this season.
Augie and Abdel, that's a game changer right there, so make sure they get print.
It's not print, but radio will do. For WTMJ, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
Has happened. Baseball, football, what have you. We're challenging the replay, and you're like, why are you challenging? We're totally going to lose this challenge. And now we're going to...
You sitting at home on the couch know so much quicker. Yeah. Oh, what are you doing?
So those guys got to be good at their job, and it sounds like we got a couple who are. Brewers and White Sox tonight at Rate Field in Chicago. 6:40 is the first pitch. The call will be on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee tonight because we have the Bucks here on WTMJ. Milwaukee Admirals bringing playoff hockey back to Milwaukee again this week. Season that saw the Ads sign an extension with their NHL affiliate, the Nashville Predators, through the 28-29 season. I talked with the president of the Admirals, John Greenberg, about that great relationship.
They believe in winning at this level, and they really do appreciate what we do in terms of developing players off the ice, whether it's getting guys out in the community or just giving them access to living in a major league market. There's a lot of teams in the league that don't have what we have here in Milwaukee. And
I love that for us. Case in point is we're playing Rockford in the first round of the Calder Cup playoffs. I mean, where would you rather live? Like if you're a young and upcoming athlete.
Bruce City.
So often we're on the back end of that of like, well, Green Bay is small or Milwaukee's small. It's the opposite here in the AHL. Great news for local hockey fans, and the Ads open that series against the Ice Hogs. Best of 5 series starting Thursday night at UWM Panther Arena. Puck drops at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, sure, old-time hockey, like Eddie Shore. Yeah.
Want to stay up to date with the crew?
Jose Quintana threw 5 innings, his 6th strikeout of this game, all 6 looking.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
To start off 4-0 with an ERA under 1.5, and I just continue to fall back on the word professional. He's a professional, and he knows how to get it done.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
You got to get to Built Right today. Vince Vitrano here talking about Built Right's Buy Local, Love Your Home mattress sale. It ends Saturday. One location saves you time. It saves you money. You know where they are. They make it easy to shop and easy to buy. Built Right will beat any big box, national or local chain store, department store, online retailer, warehouse club, or employee-free store because Built Right has the guaranteed lowest prices. They also got the best value, selection, and experienced team in Wisconsin. More than 60 models all on display. You can try them out. 500 mattresses in stock if you want to go home with one today. You're choosing from the best mattress brands made right here in America: Heirloom, Gold Bond, Therapeutic, Restonic, and Schiffman. And Built Right specializes in hard-to-find flippable, two-sided, or heavy-duty mattresses if you need them. They can hold up to 600 pounds. Plus, they offer free delivery and removal on mattress-only purchases of $7.99 or more. Built Right saves you money. Voted best place to shop Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
70 years ago, the Blaine brothers founded Blaine's Farm and Fleet as one of the nation's first retail stores to sell goods at a discount. And we've helped supply Midwest farms and families with quality products at unbeatable prices ever since. Like AgriMaster Sweet 12% horse feed, just $12.99. And assorted Balin heavy-duty railgates, buy one, get one half price for rewards members. Plus, we've lowered prices store-wide, so you can find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Debbie, what do you see on the drive?
Well, I'm seeing some delays on northbound 43 for sure, coming up from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Locust. On the southbound side, just a little bit tight south of Capitol Drive. Westbound 94, we've got ourselves an accident. It is at 68th Street, the left shoulder block, so that's going to be tying things up. The eastbound side slowing down from 84th Street, almost to Hawley Road. Northbound on 41, backing up from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up past Capitol Drive, almost to Hampton. Southbound side slowing down as you're making your way in towards the Highway 145 off-ramp all the way down past Appleton Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Wisconsin reporting its first tornado touchdown of 2025, but far away from these parts. It was in Eau Claire County as we bring in Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky this morning. A little baby twister there, Niz, it looks like.
Yeah, and overall, yesterday definitely did not pan out to the potential that was on the table yesterday. I absolutely hated yesterday's forecast. It was well, first, I hate any chance of severe weather, but you know me, Vinny, like I feel like our expectations of what people want out of a meteorologist, you know, I hold it pretty high. So when all we can do is give people, let's just say, a maybe, like on a forecast for severe weather, I don't like doing that. Like, I want to be able to give people more. I want to be able to give people an exact timing, a little bit more certainty or less certainty. But yesterday, the cards that we were given, it was truly a maybe forecast, and it made me want to pull my hair out.
Well, you could hear that. I heard you talking about it, and Craig Copleen was with us as well, describing, like, even late yesterday afternoon, saying, I can't even promise you it's going to rain, much less be severe weather. What were why was it so hard to make a call one way or the other?
Yeah, so what keeps us on our toes are a couple ingredients that were in place that if severe weather, if a storm actually developed and there were some things in place that these storms could quickly intensify to like big time major levels, like the instability levels, the shear levels, the jet stream, all these certain things were there. However, there were a couple key pieces that were not there for most of the event. There was something that was called a cap, which basically is when there's warm air aloft above the surface, and we needed most of the day to break that cap. Once we warmed into the 80s inland and stuff, then we eventually broke that cap. Basically, there's a lid on any potential for thunderstorms to develop. So that eventually broke, and we did see a couple scattered showers develop later on. But then there was a dry layer in the atmosphere, like at 700 millibars. Now I'm getting really sciencey. That prevented from storms to develop. And then the storms eventually worked themselves too far away from the front itself that was back towards Minnesota. So we never really got that trigger. We had, let's just say we had some really good ammo. We had some like really, really, potential ammo to build something, but we never had the trigger. And that was tough.
All right. Asked and answered. There's a lot of science in there, Niz. Just now.
I know. This time in the morning.
It's really
I had
early.
all night last night. I had all night last night to think about it as I'm sitting at the station, babysitting the radar and stuff. It's like, one of those cases where you don't obviously want severe weather, and especially when there was that potential on the table. But there's nothing worse than sitting at work when there's enough of a chance to keep you there and have it not happen. You know what I mean?
Niz, another debate that's been raging on the internet.
Really wanted to make sure we got your take on
the last couple of days. Where do you fall in the 100 men versus the gorilla fight conversation that is all over the internet?
Have you seen this yet? Huh?
I haven't. I've been a little MIA from stuff.
You've been working?
Yesterday was a busy day at work, a couple other things.
Well, Eric and I are working too. We have to see all things.
So
explain it to me quick.
Someone posted a hypothetical that has just caught fire on every social media site, and it's who would win the fight, a gorilla or against 100 men? Would the men win? Who wins that fight?
God, like a really big, like
yes, a silverback.
Like the big boy that's really
Samson.
scary at the zoo. 100 men wins, I think.
Wow.
I think 100 men, as long as they all went at him at once and they clung on to him. You had to have a game plan. You got to have a game plan. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm coming around to 100 men. Like, just if you can team up, Niz is right. You can't just have like guys go one-on-one until you're all expired, right? You gotta go at it.
You gotta go in waves. You just don't want to be in that first wave is all.
You got to circle this guy. You got to circle him, and then you got to all go in at once. And I mean, you got to go hard, because if you don't get him right off the bat, he's just going to start throwing people.
Hey, Ms. Nansky, if we're chosen, I want you on my team on that for sure.
I'm already scheming, and I can feel my blood pressure boiling already.
He's ready. He's ready to get in.
Man, he would use Vince to club you, Niz. He would grab Vince and swing him around.
Can internet? Can we make sure that we don't actually do this? Like, can we not? Like, can we? There's no. Like,
it's funny you say that.
It's been proposed.
Mr. Beast is making a
He's
joke.
He's looking for volunteers.
Yeah. No, see, that at least would be a sanctioned event. I'm thinking of like something like in the middle of like Oklahoma, some dude like setting up something that him and his boys somehow got their hands on a gorilla.
You're okay if it's organized and sanctioned. We just can't have people going rogue and doing this on their own.
Yeah, I don't want some militia in the backwoods setting this up.
Wow. Sounds like something. You and I have both spent some time in northern Wisconsin. Sounds like something that could go down up there.
Yeah, somewhere deep in Forest County, they could figure something out.
Absolutely, a bar would do it for a night. Hey, one night only. All right, Niz. Thanks very much.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
See you, bud.
WTMJ Forecast was sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up about 114 points to 40,228. The NASDAQ closed down 17 to 17,366. S&P 500 was up a few points to 5529. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Vince Vitrano enjoying my beautiful new Made in America Haas garage door from Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. And now I want to keep it nice and functioning properly. So I bring in my friend Rick Burr here from Lifetime Door this morning. Rick, Lifetime, I know we'll come out and do maintenance on your existing door anytime, but how about some thoughts on if you have the door that you like, taking care of it, making sure it stays nice?
Absolutely, Vince. We always recommend that you lubricate the door. I do it quarterly, 4 times a year. It only takes you about 5 minutes to go over and lubricate everything on that door.
How about keeping the door clean?
Keeping the door clean. We always recommend cleaning the door with soap and water and then a nice soft cloth. You don't want anything abrasive that'll scratch up your finish on the garage door.
Weather stripping and stuff?
Weather strip you can replace yourself. It's pretty easy to do. It's just nailed on. If that's something that you want to attempt yourself, we sell it over the counter at our showroom in Brookfield. It's really simple, and it prevents the weather from getting in, causing corrosion on other parts.
Rick Burr is with us from Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. Rick, are there things, I'm sure you see mistakes that people have made all the time, things you shouldn't do?
Absolutely. Using a pressure washer to wash your garage door, it will damage the finish on that door. Using WD-40. WD-40 is not actually a lubricant. It's actually a degreaser. If you have a grease mark on your door, you could use it for that.
How about messing around with the door, removing parts or hardware when you're cleaning? Do you have to do any of that?
For every action, there's a reaction. You do not want to remove a part, I assure you. If you have any questions about that, feel free to call us and we can walk you through anything or have somebody come out and remove what needs to be removed.
Talking with Rick Burr from Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. So, Rick, you mentioned the lubricants. What kind of lubricants should you use?
Right now, we're actually giving away a free can of lubricant if you stop by our showroom in Brookfield.
That makes it easy. Come in and get one.
It's a silicone-based lubricant, and if you stop in our showroom in Brookfield, we'll give it to you. Or with any purchase, and you mentioned Vince, we will give you a free can as well.
Stop in, get that free can when you tell them Vinny sent you. And while you're there, take a look around at the beautiful garage doors and openers at Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. 7:31, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, April 29th, our top story. A shuttered bar burns down in Kenosha.
I'm Erik Bilstad, troubling data on Wisconsin deer.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, still dealing with an accident on westbound 94, right about at 70th Street. The left shoulder is blocked. Something to keep in mind if you've been heading through that area. You're going to see some delays. Backing up right now from before 35th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, and then again right past the accident scene. On the eastbound side, we got some backups in the Barker Road area, past Brookfield Road to Calhoun. On the brakes again from just before 84th Street all the way to Holly Road, and then again through the stadium to almost 27th Street. Northbound 43, that's got some backups from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy and windy today. Already at today's high temperature of 71 degrees. Temperatures will be falling through the day. Should be in the 50s by the afternoon and evening hours. Mostly clear and chilly overnight. Low down to 37 lakeside, 34 inland.
ABC News, I'm Sherry. President Trump heading to Michigan today to mark 100 days in office. That as the White House announces he's planning to ease off on some of the tariffs hitting the auto industry. As for the tariffs on Chinese goods, ABC's Christiane Cordero says
Beijing insists there have been no talks on trade between President Trump and President Xi, but Trump suggests negotiations are underway, providing few details.
Have you spoken to him since the tariffs? When did you last
I don't want to comment on that, but I've spoken to him many times.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says it's China's responsibility to reach a trade deal.
The Liberals, headed by Mark Carney, winning elections in Canada on Monday. Officials in central Illinois now say targeted terrorism is not believed to be the motive behind a car slamming into a building housing after-school programs. 2 4-year-olds, an 8-year-old, and an 18-year-old all killed. Toxicology tests being done on the driver who survived. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:33.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, maybe you saw the smoke if you were on the freeway early this morning. A former off-highway bar in Kenosha has burned down. Fire officials still on scene at a place called Old Uncle Mike's Highway Pub. Fire started at 3 in the morning. No word on any injuries.
Plea deal for a Waupun prison warden implicated in 2 inmate deaths. Randall Hepp is pleading no contest, part of a plea deal. His felony misconduct charge now a misdemeanor. 8 members of Hepp's staff were charged in June with abuse or misconduct in the deaths of those inmates, Cameron Williams and Donald Mayer at Waupun Correctional. Hepp now faces just 30 days in jail.
A guy whom authorities said was under the influence of alcohol, going the wrong way on the freeway, and nearly clipped the motorcade of Vice President Kamala Harris when she was in town for a campaign event last year, will do no jail time. 55-year-old Wayne Wacker pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct and negligent operation of a motor vehicle. Judge stayed the prison sentence and placed Wacker on 12 months probation, $500 fine.
2 more schools set to close at Milwaukee Public School District. The district's lead action plan outlining those steps for addressing future lead remediation. Students and staff at Brown Street School and Westside Academy will relocate in May to Douglas Middle School.
10% of Wisconsin's deer sampled for chronic wasting disease did test positive for the neurological disease. The Department of Natural Resources says nearly 90% of deer testing positive were what's known as the southern farmland zone of Wisconsin, particularly in Richland, Sauk, and Iowa counties.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:35. Coming up, so it does matter which arm you get that shot.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Bratfest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at travelwisconsin.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:37.
So an NHL team doesn't make the playoffs, and it benefits Milwaukee. How's that? Sports at 7:45.
Did you know, apparently, it matters which arm you get that shot?
They always ask.
Right, usually
which
you just
arm
kind
you
of pick
want
one.
to.
However, apparently, CBS's Michael George says which arm you get your vaccine shot actually matters.
Which arm you choose to get a vaccine shot in could make a difference. And no, it's not about getting the shot in your dominant arm. A study by the Garvan Institute found if you get a booster vaccine in the same arm as your first dose, the immune response happens quicker, often within the first week. But after a few weeks, the level of protection is the same no matter which arm you got your follow-up shot
So
in.
it would mean it's a quicker active response if you're getting a vaccine shot follow-up booster vaccine in that same arm.
Well, then you got to remember which one was it.
Right.
Like, did I choose the dominant arm, or did I say, no, I don't necessarily want to do that?
Put like an X with a Sharpie on there.
Just leave it.
Yeah.
Right, don't wash that area for a year.
Right, yeah, for however long.
7:38, news sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That starts Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
We didn't write the headline. The Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Market shifts, economic uncertainty, and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. No doubt, standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil, and we're totally on board with that. But retirement planning isn't a set-it-and-forget-it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized financial, retirement, estate, and tax plans that adapt as needed and put your goals first always. Already with another firm, but getting the feeling you're lost in the shuffle or they just can't keep up? A second opinion could be the smartest move you could make. If you're managing it yourself, we'll fill in the gaps with professional precision. You work hard to build your future. Don't leave it to chance. Put a pro on your side. Get a proactive plan from a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
I've been able to resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He'd heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
20-8. Debbie, what's happening on the roads?
Still got that accident on westbound 94 right about at 70th Street. It looks like everybody's getting past it without too much of a problem. It is off on the left shoulder, though, so keep that in mind. We do have delays, though, from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound, we got some backups right through the Barker Road area towards Brookfield Road, and then back on the brakes just before 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Northbound 43, that's heavy out of the Marquette all the way to Keefe. Southbound heavy from Silver Spring all the way down past Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A cold front's moving through this morning. That is bringing breezy winds and dropping temperatures. Will start off well into the 60s this morning, falling into the 50s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear and chilly, low temperatures down in the 30s. Wednesday, we'll look for partly cloudy skies throughout the day. High temperatures around 50 by the lake, upper 50s inland. There will be the chance for some rain showers late Wednesday into Wednesday night. Rain showers are likely on Thursday with mostly cloudy skies and high temperatures in the 50s. Partly cloudy skies on Friday. Still a small chance for an isolated rain shower with temperatures in the mid-50s. And then plenty of sunshine to start off the weekend on Saturday with high temperatures in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 71. our last act before leaving the NFL draft last week, as Erik and I were up there. If you listen to the show, we were live from Green Bay on Wednesday, and then we hung out and did all the NFL stuff Wednesday, and then headed back. As we pull out onto Oneida Street, that clanking noise was Erik's backpack flying out the open rear end of the vehicle. Right on the middle of the street at Oneida Street.
No, it had been a long day.
It was both our faults because I left the back open. I thought I closed it. You assumed I closed it.
I don't know how I didn't notice. And usually there's a beep. There may have been, and we just didn't even notice. Guys honking at us.
Or if you've ever been on the boat out on one of our fine Wisconsin lakes and somebody decides to...
Yep.
And stuff goes flying off the back.
There goes the hat,
cooler.
Or the cooler.
Yeah, the hat. Hey, whoa.
Yep.
It's kind of like that.
Only,
launching it without the plug-in.
Right, yes, or that. The only big difference here is that cooler and my backpack didn't cost $70 million.
Why don't you just tell me what the story is?
The U.S. Navy says a fighter jet rolled off an aircraft carrier and into the Red Sea.
Cannot happen.
And somehow it did.
The incident occurred as the $70 million jet was being towed from the hangar bay of the aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman. Both the fighter jet and the tow tractor rolled off the carrier deck and into the Red Sea. 2 crew members, one on board the FA-18 and another inside the tractor, jumped out in time. But officials say one sailor suffered a minor injury.
It's ABC's Stephen Portnoy. So, yeah, like pretty intense there for a moment. Whoa. Hey! Don't know if there's going to be video of this ever released. Now the question is, do you go get it? They would like to, because you can only imagine, some of what's very sophisticated and sensitive on board.
If we don't get it, someone else might.
But at the same time...
Can it be gotten?
Well, the likelihood is very difficult.
Officials say it's unclear whether enemy fire played a role or other factors like human error or mechanical malfunction. And officials say the chances of recovering that $70 million fighter jet are quite low, as that is an active conflict area.
Right, that's ABC's Trevor Alt. So you're going to get a salvage team there? You're going to call Jerry here after he's done with the boat here?
We can't wait. We can't even get a boat off the beach that's been stranded here in Milwaukee for 6 months.
100 feet down.
Going to go to the bottom of the ocean and pick this thing up?
Yeah.
In enemy territory or perhaps hostile territory?
But yeah, luckily no one seriously hurt. But $70 million down the drain at the bottom of the Red Sea as we speak.
7:45, sports up next.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Kohler Services. I'm in the middle of day 2 of my brand new Luckstone shower remodel. That's right, they are here working on my shower as we speak, and it is going beautifully. I cannot wait till everything is done. They're going to put up the Luckstone crushed stone material wall units around, and I'm trying to imagine it, but it's kind of hard. But they're going to have everything taken care of and cleaned up, everything completely taken care of by the end of the day today. I cannot wait. Hey, if you want to get your free quote for a custom Kohler Luckstone shower remodel, visit KohlerServicesWI.com. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The Bucks looking to get off the mat tonight It all comes down to tonight for now. They're down 3-1 in their best-of-7 first-round NBA playoff series to the Pacers. Game 5 tonight in Indiana. You got to win to move on to Game 6, which would be back here at home on Friday. So the news from Sunday and into Monday, of course, Damian Lillard and his Achilles. Well, it is official. Tore his Achilles. That means he's done, and likely done for next year too, or at least for a good portion of it. And that's not good news. ESPN's Shams Charania on what this means for the Bucks.
For Damian Lillard specifically, this is going to be a tough hill climb for him, but he's going to get through it. But for the Bucks as an organization, this is really crippling because Damian Lillard is set to make almost $60 million next season.
Yeah. You add that with what Giannis makes, that's most of what the team gives out as far as cash goes.
And Dame's not a young man. He's 34.
And if he's not going to play,
terms.
It's devastating. It's devastating to see what could potentially be or not be next year. Still got to see what we can do this year. Pacers tonight, 5 o'clock tip right here on WTMJ Radio 430 pregame.
Brewers and White Sox tonight at Rate Field in Chicago. Apparently that's what they call that place now.
Savages.
It's a 3-game series before we head home to face the Cubs at American Family Field. Tonight's game will be on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee for that 6:40 first pitch. Playoff hockey comes back to Milwaukee Thursday night. The Admirals open a best-of-5 series against Rockford in this first round. Bad news for the Ads NHL affiliate. The Nashville Predators did not make the playoffs. That turns out to be good news for us in Milwaukee.
Nashville didn't make the playoffs this year, so we've got our full complement of guys that have been up there, and this is as loaded as our roster could be. So
that's President of the Milwaukee Admirals, John Greenberg. I talked with him this week, and here's the thing: we play Rockford in this first series, the Ice Hogs, and
it's always great to go in as fully loaded as you can, and we're playing Rockford. They're the Blackhawks affiliate. They've got all their players too, so it should be a great series.
Yeah, Blackhawks didn't make the playoffs either.
Okay.
So you're going to have a lot of guys on the icy who've had more than a cup of coffee in the NHL.
That's some high-level hockey.
But
then.
Still have some AHL eligibility, so they're back with their AHL teams, and going to be some good hockey on the ice here in Milwaukee. The puck drops at 7 o'clock for Game 1, Thursday night at UWM Panther Arena.
It's Debbie Lazaga, and I'm so excited because I've chosen Kohler Services to transform my old bathtub into a beautiful new Luxstone shower this month. Kohler Services makes it so easy. They came to my home, took measurements, and answered all of my questions. I was able to feel the crushed stone wall material and design my custom shower. I can't wait for my installation. You can request your free quote for a custom Kohler Luxstone shower by visiting KohlerServicesWI.com. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris give playoff reactions on the pod. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's a lot of buzz surrounding the draft, but you won't find one seeping through Pella's windows and doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick because right now you can take advantage of no interest financing options or free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers can match your unique home through seamless customizations. Certain restrictions do apply, and the deal ends April 30th. So place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
At 7:51, how's the drive this morning, Deb?
Well, a little bit slow. We do have eastbound 94 backups from about 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Westbound's got that accident at 70th Street on the left shoulder. It is tying things up a little bit. We got backups from about 25th Street all the way to that accident scene. Northbound on 43, slowing from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Keefe. Southbound heavy from Silver Spring all the way down towards Locust. And northbound 41, a heavy ride from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up past Capitol Drive, almost to Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Pay attention today. Right now it's 71 degrees, but temperatures will be dropping. We will see the 50s by the afternoon. Mostly clear tonight then. Chilly conditions, low down to 37 lakeside, 34 degrees away from the lake. For Wednesday, partly cloudy with a chance of rain late, high 50 lakeside, 58 inland, and Thursday looks rainy. Rain is likely under mostly cloudy skies and a high of 56. Again, 71 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
I heard your tease. You caught up with Marco, and I can't wait. I'm actually super intrigued to hear what information you gleaned from Marco.
Innovator.
No Tausch last week. He's looking good. He's looking a little, as we used to call it, a little supple.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
Supple. Yeah. That's fair.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Kohler Services and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Tausch, wonder where you come down on this. If you had a relative do something similar, how you would react.
Okay.
And this happens from time to time as super parents are alive and well. Super parents of kid athletes who decide to comment either to coaches or to whoever will listen about what their kid should or should not be doing on and off the field. So obviously we had the big draft, and Matthew Golden was selected first, the receiver out of Texas, and it was an amazing moment in Packers history, just everything that happened around.
Great fanfare.
Yeah, it'll be remembered forever for Packers fans. I think Steve Scafidi told us that's one of his top 5 moments in Packers fandom is being there for that moment. Well,
wow,
Christian, yeah. That's a whole different conversation. Okay. Christian Watson, receiver Christian Watson's brother and dad were streaming a live podcast at the time of the draft, and the Journal-Sentinel's got the story. And here's how it sounded live as the announcement came. Brother here first reacting.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers. These idiots, man. First time since 2002. Draft a wide receiver.
So calls them idiots for drafting a wide receiver. Dad says this.
I'm going to tell you right now, they deserve whatever they get.
Clearly unhappy with the pick.
And publicly so.
So if you were Christian Watson, what are you telling these guys?
Well, I mean, I think you would hope to have that conversation and say this isn't going to help. So I'm kind of torn on this. We discussed this a little bit yesterday, and as a parent and as someone that played and had a dad who was involved, I understand the emotions of where he's coming from because, obviously Christian's hurt. And, his brother has been very, active on social media as long as his dad has too. I would hope that you wouldn't go on live stream. Now, if you want to talk to your buddies and say that, I have no problem. But this is not going to help. But in the same respect, I think Christian Watson has shown, I thought last year, with the way he carried himself and how he handled the Romeo Doubs situation, he has built up so much goodwill that even when his dad and his brother do something like this, and we saw this a little bit with Greg Jennings and his sister way back in the day, it's more about what the actual player is doing and how they react. So to me, I get it. I think I understand the emotions of it. I don't think it's a big deal. I think the big deal is, is Christian Watson going to be able to get healthy and play? Because if he can't, all of this other stuff is kind of fodder for anything else. So I think Christian Watson, he has built up enough goodwill that anything that happened on this live stream, I think it's going to be fun for sports talk. I think it's going to be fun for fans. But I don't think it's any surprise to anyone up in Green Bay.
I just liked it, like if Eric's brother all of a sudden had some sort of platform and was popping off about us adding a 4th hour to the show. What are those idiots doing over there?
Oh, my gosh. Dude,
don't help me.
Shut up.
Then it would depend how good is your 4th hour. I mean, that's right.
Well, let me tell you, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's dynamite. Check the podcast. I think you want people in your corner. And I think you want people that have your best interest at heart. And emotion sometimes gets the better of all of us. So I would not have recommended. I'm not sure why he was live streaming. I'm hoping he's getting paid to do that, because if he's not, I don't know if it does him any good, because nothing. What was going to happen there that was going to be good? If they drafted somebody else, is he going to say, all right, there just didn't seem to be any positive to it. And I think when you're in these situations, you're always trying to figure out, okay, what's going to be the positive of me doing this? And if it's not a financial thing, I don't know why he would be. I mean, listen, man, I want voices out. I want to hear this stuff. But in the old days, you wouldn't have. And I think maybe there's sometimes that might be the best.
You have to ask Tausch about the gorilla.
Okay, so
you have to.
So, hypothetical question
Greg, we have to.
It was posted on social
worried
media.
about the time.
Tausch.
I don't care.
So this was posted on social media and has caught fire. Now, name the platform, and people are talking about it. Who wins in a fight between 100 men and one gorilla?
I think this all comes down to who are your 100 men.
Interesting.
I think you would say the numbers would get it, but I don't think we realize how strong a gorilla is.
I think that's correct.
I think people think, we'll have 10 guys go up there. I think their strength, unless you're talking about some really strong, tough dudes, I don't think we realize that a gorilla, will take his arm and just slap you, and he'll knock you, 50 feet, I don't know how far back, but I'm going to take the gorilla in this battle. I don't think, unless I find the right 100 people, I'm going gorilla every time.
Vince kind of thought maybe
a well-coordinated attack. I mean, you can't just send guy after guy and hope you wear them out. You got to work together, all 100 guys.
All right, but you have no weapons, right? This is just strict manpower. Yeah,
I have my huge brain.
Yeah, Vinny, I'm going to tell you this. You're going to need 99 really strong dudes to help you.
Eric said I'd be the first guy the gorilla grabs, and he would use me as a club to beat back all 99 other guys.
Vince would be the weapon the gorilla would use.
Yeah, he would. What's to stop him from just taking Vinny and using him as a helicopter and just swinging him around and knocking people down?
My legs! Just tearing my legs off!
Okay. Strong finish. Thanks, Tausch.
You got it.
When you want the best medical attention, you don't just go to anybody, you go to a specialist. The same should be true with your car or truck. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. When your vehicle needs service, take it to a specialist, an Adam member new car dealer. Adam dealers use factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians specially trained on the advanced technology on your vehicle. They have all the latest manufacturer service bulletins and will know if your issue is covered by an existing warranty or if there are any recalls. And despite what you might assume, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine maintenance and tires. Now, knowing all that, why would you even consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
For great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Save big money at Menards. Get your grass growing thick and green with Scott's Thicker Lawn Grass Seed Mix. Its 3-in-1 solution of grass seed, fertilizer, and soil improver is formulated to help your thinning lawn grow green and covers up to 1,200 square feet. Hurry into the Menards Garden Center to save big on Scott's Thicker Lawn Grass Seed. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they've delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
It's Game 5, and the Bucks are trying to stay alive in the NBA playoffs.
It's Giannis racing ahead, plows right through his man, lays it in with a foul, and that was the full Greek Freak experience.
Our coverage against the Pacers starts today at 4:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
8:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, April 29th, our top story. More reaction to a high-profile arrest in Milwaukee.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Movement in the Vatican.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Westbound 94. We do still have this accident right about at 70th Street. It's off on the left shoulder. Delays stretching all the way back to just before 27th Street, so something to keep in mind there. Beyond that, though, you do have more delays right past Highway 100 heading towards the county line. Eastbound 94 backing up from before 84th Street all the way through to 35th. Northbound 43, a heavy ride there from before Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Southbound's backed up from Silver Spring all the way down to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Temperatures falling through the morning. We've got a high temperature already of 71 degrees. We'll be in the 50s by late this afternoon. Mostly clear skies overnight and temperatures dropping into the mid-30s. Again, right now it's 71, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, top judge in Milwaukee County speaking out for the first time since FBI agents arrested Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan. Chief Judge Carl Ashley says county leaders are working to change the policy that does allow federal agents to make arrests inside the courthouse.
In a perfect world, we would have the opportunity to have a courthouse where people would never have to worry about coming there for their activities. But the reality is there are legal parameters which allow the government to effectuate warrants, and we're not going to interfere with that.
2 more Milwaukee public schools are set to close next month due to elevated lead levels, bringing the total to 6 now closed for cleanup in the past year. At least 4 students recently tested positive for elevated blood lead levels. Health Commissioner Mike Todoritis says it's a challenging time.
These are really important investments and stabilization activities to ensure that the children do not have long-term permanent brain damage.
The city has more than 100 school buildings that were built before 1978 when lead paint was banned.
President Trump planning to address his first 100 days in office when he heads to Michigan today. ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce says the president is also easing off on some tariff talk that would hit the auto industry.
We've learned that the president today is announcing that he's providing some relief for automakers from his staggering tariffs. The move means that those automakers who are paying Trump's tariffs won't also be charged other taxes on things like steel and aluminum. It's a sign that the president, even as he marks this 100-day milestone, is well aware that his trade war is taking a real toll.
News comes after General Motors reported strong first quarter earnings.
High-level meetings are underway at the Vatican ahead of next week's conclave to select a new pope.
Just like the film Conclave,
sede vacante,
or translated from the Latin,
the throne of the Holy See is vacant.
The process of choosing the next pope has already begun, with cardinals meeting regularly, behind closed doors, of course, to discuss what qualities and priorities the next pontiff should have, and to deliver speeches laying out their own vision for the church. No one's calling them campaign speeches, but that's essentially what they are. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Milwaukee Archbishop Jeffrey Grob will hold a memorial mass for Pope Francis this evening at the Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist.
Southeast Wisconsin spared of severe weather overnight, but Wisconsin's first tornado of the year did touch down.
A funnel cloud was spotted forming near Augusta in Eau Claire County. The National Weather Service says a tornado touched down just before 8:15 Monday night. Multiple tornado warnings were issued for western Wisconsin. The worst of the storm then moved east across the northern part of the state. The National Weather Service will assess the damage in Augusta today. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Coming up, new rules, new world for Wisconsin high school athletes. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
Public service, courage, bravery, sacrifice. These are terms used to describe those who work in public safety who go above and beyond each and every day of their lives. If you have a police officer, dispatcher, fire professional, or an emergency nurse who impacted your life, in May we'll honor the best examples of paying it forward, sharing the tremendous stories of these local heroes. Nominate your local hero at WTMJ.com. Click on the Salute to Service banner at the top, or by texting SALUTE to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line.
It's Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Berghardt.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
Wisconsin student athletes can profit off of their name, image, and likeness for the first time, and it'll start about a month from now. CEO of Influential Athlete Stephanie Grady telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News what NIL can look like.
Whether they're doing that with local businesses in their hometown or eventually their college town, or they're looking to work with e-commerce companies or some of the bigger corporations out there.
School districts cannot profit from NIL according to these new rules.
A suburb of Springfield, Illinois in mourning today, Chatham, after a vehicle and a driver crashed through an after-school center. This happened Monday afternoon. 4 people killed.
A car drove through a daycare, leaving at least 4 people dead. The victims, girls ranging in age from 4 to 18. Police say the suspect drove a vehicle through the Why Not After School camp in Chatham, Illinois, Monday afternoon. The driver was not injured. Governor J.B. Pritzker saying in a statement, our community lost a group of bright and innocent young people with their whole lives ahead of them. Parents said goodbye to their kids this morning, not knowing it would be the last time.
Now, police say they don't believe this was a targeted attack. They say the driver is being evaluated as they wait for toxicology reports.
Investigators in Clearwater, Florida, still searching for answers about a hit-and-run boat collision. One person was killed, another injured, as well as several more, 10 in all, Sunday evening.
The ferry was taking 45 passengers across the Intracoastal Waterway when
the ferry was struck from behind by a vessel that left the scene prior to the arrival of law enforcement.
Clearwater Police Chief Erik Gandy.
Our 911 call takers could hear what they described as horrific screaming in the background.
41-year-old passenger Jose Castro was killed. Investigators say the captain of the other boat, Jeff Knight, did not show signs of impairment, but may be charged with leaving the scene of an accident. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09.
First class isn't as cheap as Coach, and you can't buy Prada for a fruit of the loom price. But while they last, you can buy high-end Beautyrest Black and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for nowhere near high-end prices. Hassellus Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These are the best of the best, and now you can get them for way less. Like a Beautyrest Black LX Hybrid was $3,599, but now it's just $971. Or a Sealy Posturepedic Golden Acres Pillow Top was $1,093, but the floor model is just $546. Visit any employee-free Hassellus showroom and test your favorite floor model without salespeople breathing down your neck. You won't find these mattresses priced this low anywhere else. It's like buying a Lamborghini for $10,000 just because it sat on the showroom floor. Only a few floor models are available at each Hassellus mattress location, and when they're gone for good. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters for your home or your business. They came out and did the exterior of our house. The team walked around the entire house with me, pointed out a couple spots that I needed some extra work done. I didn't even realize it. The team's at CertaPro. They've got your back. Call and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. It's CertaPro Painters, the best in the business. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. It's CertaPro Painters. Took care of me, they'll take care of you. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
8:10. What's happening on the morning drive, Debbie?
Well, we do still have this accident, westbound 94 in the left shoulder, just about ready to be cleared out of the way if it hasn't already, right about at 70th Street. So we got delays basically from 25th Street all the way to that point. On the eastbound side, we got some delays from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange as well. Southbound on 41, slowing down from 145 down to Silver Spring. Northbound's heavy from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up past Capitol Drive, almost to Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast is sponsored by Big Fish Contracting. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to see how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry. Today, we're already at our high temperature for the day. Right now, 72. And temperatures expected to drop in the afternoon. Could be in the 50s by late this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear, chilly. Low down to 37 at the lake, 34 inland. Partly cloudy with a chance of rain late on Wednesday. High 58 degrees. Right now at 71.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Good I think we got 2 hours to go. So much to get to on Wisconsin's Morning News. We didn't even do this yet.
Yeah, this is a big story. Something that affects the entire state.
Happening today.
Yes, the Joint Finance Committee going to hold another public hearing today in Wausau.
Oh, wait, don't hang up. Don't hang up.
This is when they spend 5 hours listening to the public as they discuss different requests for budget spending.
They have to do this.
Yeah, they have to do it. So they're in Wausau today. They were in Hayward on Monday.
We're happy to be in the Northwoods for a public hearing on the state budget. Great to be up here. Looking forward to hearing from folks.
Oh, I bet you are their representative. 5 hours of this.
They are not.
That's the JFC, the Joint Finance Committee co-chair, State Representative Mark Bourne there, talking ahead of the big hearing.
To call the meeting to order. Welcome to our third public hearing for the state budget.
Okay, so let's get some of the ground rules in now, because the place was packed there at Hayward High.
Silent applause only. Folks have done a pretty good job over the years between jazz hands or just standing to show their support and not disrupt the speaker who is trying to convey their message to the committee.
You heard what he said there.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Jazzed as hell?
Ooh,
as the governor likes to say.
This is jazz hands.
Okay.
Are you aware of the jazz hands?
Yeah, you got it.
That's like, yeah, right? You flare
you
your
gotta
hands.
flare 'em out.
Right, because they only have 2 minutes a person. Okay, all right, enough of that. So they only have 2 minutes a person. They want to crank through as many as humanly possible, so that's why you would do the jazz hands. All right, so moving forward, here is some of what they heard on Monday.
I'm asking you to support food security grants in the state budget.
Okay.
I'm asking you to support food security grants in the state budget.
Yeah, we have that, and
with the baby boomer generation now entering the stage where they require care, it is critical to ensure that they have access to in-home services.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough time to list the budget items which apply to homelessness.
Right, so you hear a lot from tons of different people asking for different funds for different things, and a lot of them righteous causes. Sometimes you just hear people liking to talk.
I live in Eau Claire without a car, and I walk and bike and take transit to get where I need to go.
Okay, so that guy likes to bike. Others have other stories.
Enbridge designed this pipeline to be only to last only 50 years.
So you get where we're going here? Everyone's got a different story to tell.
My ancestors left Milwaukee to come up here to Sawyer County in 1919.
All right, now we're just telling stories.
Minute and 50 seconds left.
My life has been transformed by Wisconsin libraries, without any doubt.
Okay, so the whole idea is to get them to at least consider. All of the committee is there. Maybe there's one or two missing, but they all have to be there. All of them are listening to every person speak, or at least appearing to be listening. And some of the speakers have different strategies.
I'm a child care provider at Miss Julia Sculia in Eau Claire. That's in my home. I spend most of my time with young children and with their thoughts and their feelings. And I guide experiences that allow the children to feel their big feelings in a way that is safe, such as feeling angry.
Ma'am, you're running out of time.
When a children takes a toy and a child gets upset, the child and I work through the feelings. We take deep breaths. And then we talk with the other child.
Noble cause as a child care provider, but running out of time.
What do you want?
Running out of time. There was one.
What wish would you like the wizard to grant?
There was a couple of interesting ones. Usually you'll find some notable people show up at some of these. We've seen the county executive here in Milwaukee go to some of these other ones. We've seen the mayor in Milwaukee go up to some of these. In this case, the chancellor at the UW extension.
Good morning. Renee Wachter, Chancellor, UW Superior. I'm asking for your support for the UW budget and thus student access, affordability, and quality.
Right. Obviously, there's a lot of talk right now about what's going to happen with the UW system and how much money they're going to see.
I think they asked for nearly $1 billion more in funding.
And unlikely to happen. This is one that is near and dear to me, and I know that you have heard me talking about it. The film industry.
I am a writer-director from Hayward, and me and my crew are currently shooting a feature film here in Hayward. So these tax incentives would give a lot more opportunities for us to hire local crew.
Yes, let's start doing more of that.
That's interesting.
couple of people spoke on that. And then there was this gentleman.
I'm from Menominee, Wisconsin. I actually grew up there and played on the state basketball team that lost to Wauwatosa East by 28 in 1986.
Okay, I thought maybe you would remember that. That was before your time, though, huh? Tosa East crushing Menominee in 1986.
Man, we didn't win state in 1986.
Oh,
might have been an earlier round.
I'm from Menominee, Wisconsin. I actually grew up there and played on the state basketball team that lost to Wauwatosa East by 28 in 1986.
Maybe he's just making stuff up.
There.
I don't know.
That Tony's year.
You recognize the voice?
No. I'm thinking Tony Smith and that team when he was at Tosa East went in the mid to late 80s, and I'm thinking maybe that was Tony's run. Not really your point. Anyway, right. Sorry to go Tosa East on you for a minute. He brought it up, counselor.
So today, another 5 hours in Wausau for this group. When will we see the budget ready? The committee committee members were asked about that.
We've sketched out a plan. And we're not prepared to release the details of that yet, but we believe our plan will be similar to what we've done in prior budgets, and that we're very hopeful we can get the budget done before the end of the fiscal year.
All right, so whether or not that is possible, we do know that today there will be more
jazz hands.
Oh, yeah. More jazz hands.
What do they do, 4 of these?
Yes, they've done 2 already. And the last one is in Wausau.
In case you're wondering when it's your turn, you missed it already. You're going to have to ride.
There's still time.
Yeah.
And they have a pretty good system. And they cut you off.
They move you through, right?
Yep.
2 minutes?
They give you a 30-second warning. After 2 minutes, they maybe give you a 5-second grace period. But no, then you got to get out of there.
Do you think there's a single lawmaker on this committee who hears something in these 4 days of 5+ hours of testimony that causes that lawmaker to say, I wasn't going to vote for XYZ. However, this lady makes a wonderful case for her point, or this guy has a good point there. I wasn't going to do that, but now I will. Or I was going to do that, but you've raised an interesting point here, sir. I don't think I will.
You know what? I wonder.
Or is this already written?
Well, maybe. You would think that maybe trends. Like, if you have multiple people that are different, not the same person, coming with the same team of people every time, bringing up different requests, perhaps maybe that.
Hey, when we were around the state, hearing a lot of support for this.
Film incentives or for this or that. Like, so maybe that plays a little bit of role, but I don't know.
I mean, you can't sit there on your phone for 5 to 8 hours, right? That's true. You have to be hearing these things. Whether or not you actually are affected by that is a different question, but you got nothing else to do but listen.
A couple of the guys were holding pencils and things, so at least they were
notes, copious notes.
Yes, copious notes. So next one today.
Jazz hands.
Let me put my jazz hands all over your body.
Jazz hands.
Get your jazz hands, Debbie.
I have no response to that.
You don't?
Okay.
Jazz hands.
No. Jazz hands. Well, at least the song. Ooh, okay. Southbound on 41, backing up from 145 all the way down towards Silver Spring. Northbound side's backing up from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up towards Hampton. So heads up with that. Eastbound 94, we got some backups coming in from 84th Street all the way through the stadium. The westbound side backing up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. That accident is gone at 70th Street. Northbound 43, that's still going to be heavy from just about Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. Southbound is backing up from just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Trees on the Move and J&B Construction. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for Shopco Optical. You want to make sure they're right, and Shopco will make it right. Shopco Optical offers 30-day satisfaction guarantees. So if you are not completely satisfied with your new eyewear, Shopco will offer you one-time exchange or a full refund within 30 days. So you know you'll love your new glasses. And when you buy from Shopco Optical, you can enjoy free adjustments and minor repairs for the lifetime of your eyewear. Eye exams, lenses, frames and contacts, it's all in one place, and a relationship with you that will have you looking great and seeing better into the future. The folks I know and trust for my eye care, Shopco Optical. You give them a call or get started online at shopco.com to schedule an appointment.
I've got a fantastic trip that I'm planning right now. I'd love for you to be with us. It's America's Music Cities for the holidays. It's early December. It's an 8-day tour of some great spots. New Orleans, Memphis, and Nashville. Check out New Orleans, the vibrant French Quarter, all decked out for the holidays. Then we're on to the amazing city of Memphis, Elvis Presley's Graceland. It is going to look absolutely fantastic. On to Nashville. We make chocolate, take a horse-drawn carriage ride, and we stay at the magical Opryland Resort. It's with Colette, the travel company I trust. We'll handle all the details for you, flights, meals, hotels, local experiences. I'm going to be there. I want you to be with us. Send me an email. I send you the information. John@WTMJ.com. John@WTMJ.com. Space is limited. We'll discover America's musical legacy wrapped in dazzling lights and seasonal decor. Let me get you the info. I'd love for you to be with us. John, John, at WTMJ.com. It's America's Music Cities with Colette, the travel company I trust.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC. Or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
8:24 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Want to remind you again, we are throwing a big old party at American Family Field. It's a private tailgate with any of you who want to join us. It's coming up on Saturday, May 17th. We're calling it WTMJ Day at the ballpark. We'll have food, we'll have drinks. A lot of folks from WTMJ will be there with you. Tickets to the game are included in your package. The Brewers taking on the Twins at American Family Field. So if you want to sign up, it's WTMJday.com. That's the website, WTMJday.com. And you'll have tickets available right there and more details on when to head out. Twins and Brewers at American Family Field. The date is May 17th for WTMJ Day. We'll see you at the Yard. The whole thing sponsored by Woodman's.
And that's a giveaway day.
What is the giveaway?
You get the card game.
Cribbage board.
Yeah, the cribbage board.
That's cribbage board day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice. I think the guys were playing that in the booth the other day. Levo was in there playing with Lane.
Playing cribbage during the game.
Well, I don't know if it was during the game, but they were demonstrating how the board works.
Yeah.
Yes. On the campus of Marquette University today.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Actually happening pretty soon. Marquette will officially install its 25th president, Dr. Kimu Ayun. Supposed to happen within the hour as things will pick up on the Marquette campus. The mass and installation ceremony this morning at the Al McGuire Center. Dr. Ayun is not new to Marquette. He's been serving as acting president since the passing of Dr. Michael Lovell, but was before that provost and executive vice president for academic affairs.
Okay.
Also came up as the dean of the College of Communication. So he's worked his way up at MU over the years. Also a Marquette parent. His son attends Marquette right now.
Well, I should hope so. My gosh.
Well, I guess, right.
You'd be crazy not to be going there.
Man, you're going to Marquette. I think that also can help color his perspective as well. Like if his son is honest with him about, hey, what are your friends saying about this? Right? I hope he would seek his counsel or tell him, I don't care anymore about you and your friends, what you're doing over
right.
there. Right. Bringing in Marquette University graduate and host of The Upswing here on on WTMJ, Jeff Sherman. He's going to join us a little bit later in the program. What's so interesting about this is, again, my lens on it, what I want to make sure to do here is not just make this about the Marquette community. because Marquette, we have a lot of Marquette alumni. We have a lot of parents who are sending their kids to Marquette, people who are part of that community. But what more beyond Marquette does it matter who leads this university? And I think there is a case to be made for that. So we're going to talk with Jeff Sherman just after 9 o'clock this morning. Jeff's an MU grad, and Jeff had Dr. Ayoun on his Upswing program earlier this month.
We are called to transform the lives of our students, and so we keep first and foremost, how are we ensuring a quality student experience? High-impact practices, making sure they have the right spaces to learn, making sure they have the right faculty there to be able to teach them.
So I will say what I have heard about Dr. Ayoun is he is definitely a student-centered academic. And there are a lot of different ways to run an institution. You can be really donor-centered. You can be really community-centered. You can, you have priorities. And I'm not suggesting that he doesn't also need to take care of those things. But what's your top priority? And it seems like the scouting report on Dr. Ayoun is that he's really student-centered.
So the ceremony's at the L at 10A. Is there like an inauguration ball afterward, kind of like the president would have? Or?
Actually, I should have known you were going to ask
Is there
that.
a parade?
I should look up exactly what it was. It's like there's a reception. But it's more of a coffee than it is a parade or a ball.
So there's no procession.
There will be time available.
He doesn't get out of the limo and walk half the way and wave to
down
all
Wisconsin
the
Avenue.
Marquette students.
Right, the whole downtown. No, I'm not aware of that happening. But we are going to have Jeff join us after 9 this morning on the show. Looking forward to what that presidency will look like for Marquette and for the rest of the Milwaukee and Wisconsin community. Installation, Mass, and Ceremony at 10 o'clock this morning. You can live stream the event as well on the Marquette website if you cannot attend and you are so interested.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. One of the biggest questions retirees face is, when should I take Social Security? Should you claim it earlier for a smaller check or wait for a bigger payout? The wrong move could cost you thousands over the course of your retirement. And here's something most people don't realize. Social Security is only one piece of your income puzzle. If you don't coordinate it with your other retirement assets, you could pay more in taxes or even reduce your benefits without meaning to. At Drake & Associates, we help hardworking Americans like you make sense of their Social Security options so you can keep more of what you've earned. This isn't just about picking an age. It's about having a strategy so your retirement income lasts. That's why I want to send you a free retirement toolkit along with a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Inside, you'll find easy-to-understand strategies to help you maximize Social Security, lower taxes, and build a reliable income plan. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free copies while supplies last. If you're unsure about your Social Security options, don't wait. This is your chance to get clarity and confidence about your retirement income. Text SS to 414-897-9522. Secure your future today. Text SS to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you retire with confidence.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump in Michigan marking 100 days in office, while at the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has an update on the president's proposed budget.
Republicans in Congress are getting very close to passing President Trump's one big, beautiful bill, which will include the largest tax cuts in American history, strong border security measures, major military advancements, dramatic deregulation, and common sense spending reforms.
Many economists fearful that the Trump tariff policies will lead to an eventual recession. 73% of Americans now telling an ABC News, Washington Post Ipsos poll they think the economy is in bad shape. 53% say it's gotten worse since President Trump took office. Populist conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is now expected to lose his seat in Canadian Parliament as Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal Party wins the federal election. Prime Minister Carney keeping his job following President Trump's tariffs and his threats of making Canada the 51st state. This is ABC News.
Northbound on 41, backing up from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past Capitol Drive. The southbound side slows down right about at Highway 145 down past Appleton Avenue. Northbound 4394 slowing down from Howard Avenue up past Chase. You're back on the brakes just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Keefe. On the southbound side, we've got a crash right about at Locust. That's off on the right shoulder. Delays then coming in from before Hampton Avenue down to that scene. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Right now in the neighborhood of 70 degrees, but temperatures will be falling. Could be in the 50s by late this afternoon. Mostly clear skies overnight, a chilly low in the mid-30s. Right now at 72. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Public Schools planning to relocate students and staff at 2 more schools in May. Lead cleanup efforts continue across the district.
Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius says Brown Street School students will move to Andrew Douglas Middle School on May 12th, while Westside Academy students will move May 5th.
I know moving a school is incredibly disruptive, and I can't express my sincere gratitude enough to everyone for their patience, their understanding, and partnership.
The district's new lead action plan says schools must relocate if inspections find unsafe lead levels in more than half of a building's rooms or painted surfaces. At MPS headquarters, Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
The city had asked the CDC for help with lead remediation, but was told recent layoffs led to the complete loss of that program. Now, ABC did ask Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. about the rationale for cutting the lead program.
There were some programs that were cuts that are being reinstated, and I believe that that's one of them.
So far, there's been no indication that the CDC lead program was restored.
Top judge in Milwaukee County speaking publicly for the first time since FBI agents arrested Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan. Chief Judge Carl Ashley says county leaders are working to change policy that does allow federal agents to make arrests inside the courthouse.
In a perfect world, we would have the opportunity to have a courthouse where people would never have to worry about coming there for their activities. But the reality is there are legal parameters which allow the government to effectuate warrants, and we're not going to interfere with that.
Judge Dugan was arrested Friday, accused of stopping federal immigration agents from taking an undocumented Mexican immigrant into custody at the courthouse. She faces felony obstruction charges.
A deadly industrial accident in New Berlin. This happened Monday morning at a business on West Lincoln Avenue near Poplar Creek. Victim, 37-year-old Mad from Dousman. He died at the scene despite life-saving measures.
10% of Wisconsin deer sampled for chronic wasting disease and tested positive for the deadly neurological disease.
Nearly 90% of deer testing positive are in what's known as the southern farmland zone of Wisconsin, particularly in Richland, Sauk, and Iowa counties in the southwest part of the state. Chippewa, Pierce, Manitowoc, and Menominee counties all had their first wild CWD positive detection last year, while one deer tested in Milwaukee County for the disease of the over 500 sampled. CWD is always fatal in deer, and there is no cure. The Centers for Disease Control recommends people avoid eating venison from CWD-infected animals. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is starting the day up 99, 40,326. The NASDAQ is down 66 to 17,299. The S&P is down 13 to 55.15.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at AnnexWealth.com. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. OrthoWisconsin.com.
Active Liver is the easy way to get a daily detox to keep you healthy and feeling your best. Find Active Liver at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
You can't beat Bernhardt.
New Berlin and Fox Point.
Hi, I'm Rose Gray with Fox World Travel, and I'm excited to share that our exclusive guided Alaska land and sea journeys are now available for 2026. We partner with Holland America Line to curate the best and most sought-after experiences to Alaska. We send hundreds of travelers from Wisconsin to Alaska every year, along with experienced Fox tour managers for peace of mind. Don't just picture Alaska, live it. We have limited spots, and these tours are booking fast. Visit Fox World Travel online or call 866 Go Fox Go.
I'm here to help. This is your WTMJ Fix-It Show host, David Nason, with expert advice for our listeners. If you're dealing with leaks, stains, or cracks in your basement, it's time to call my trusted friends at Accurate Basement Repair. And you know what? You'll get a free expert evaluation on me. You just tell them David Nason, the Fix-It guy, told me to call. Don't let basement issues mess up your home. Trust Accurate Basement Repair to get the job done right. And again, that's Accurate Basement Repair, 414-744-6900 or accuratebasementrepair.com.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy joins us on Brewers 360 coming up in just about 5 minutes. I want to circle back on a couple of, I'm sorry I used that term.
The circle back?
It's infecting your brain because you hear it so often. I went, hey, circling back on this. Apologies for that. But while we're at it, I do want to circle back on a couple of stories that were in the news today. First, this. You remember the guy who was driving the wrong way on the freeway when the vice president was in town? Vice President Harris was here for a campaign event. I think the event was in Waukesha.
In Brookfield or something like that. Yep.
And she's coming back toward the airport, right? She's on I-94 near the Marquette interchange. Yeah. And then there's a wrong way driver that caught our attention because it drove right past the motorcade going the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. And so that's why the story made news. Well, there's finally resolution for the guy who did it. 55-year-old Wayne Wacker did plead guilty to disorderly conduct and negligent operation of a motor vehicle. He was alleged to have been drunk at the time. I don't know where the drunk driving charge went. Granted, we do plea deals sometimes to move things along and to get some resolution and to not bog the courts down and other things, and I get that. I'm not we should never do plea deals, but take the vice president's motorcade even out of it. He does no jail time. How does a guy who's a wrong way drunk on the freeway escape with no jail time?
Feet away from the VP.
$500 fine and 12 months probation. You could do a recklessly endangering safety, and I'm not a lawyer, but for every single vehicle that guy passed on the road, every single one in the motorcade, every vehicle thereafter as he was shortly pulled over, I mean, you could run it up. I mean, I don't know if there are other circumstances where authorities thought, well, this guy is not at risk to do this again or something like that, but
I don't know. The second in command was involved.
Yeah, and then add all that and the violation of that security protocol as well, which questions were asked and answered. We had the U.S. Secret Service, actually, we talked with them and told us at no point did we believe the vice president was ever in any danger. Right. We took measures that you don't notice, and this is what we do, and we were entirely sure that everything was going to be okay there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So those questions were asked. That's how they answered them. But back to our guy, Wayne Wacker. How do you escape? Even take the VP, take the motorcade out of it. How do you escape being a wrong way drunk on the freeway without going to jail or doing substantial jail time? And people make mistakes. I think people can debate whether or not that first offense in Wisconsin should be a crime. Right now it's a ticket. Okay. I'm more concerned with that second offense and the fifth offense and the 10th offense.
The 18th.
Or things like this where, people really are in danger. I just don't understand that sentencing and the deal that was made there. The other case that we were just talking about at the bottom of the hour news is this issue with our circuit court judge, Hannah Dugan, who, according to authorities, snuck a guy out of her courtroom because she didn't want him to be arrested by federal immigration authorities. I thought the comments from the chief judge, Carl Ashley, were interesting in this case. He indicated that we don't think the courthouse should be a place for this activity. And we are considering making policy changes that would disallow federal agents to come in here and execute warrants because we want people to come to court. So if someone's accused of a crime, illegal immigrant or not, we want them to come to court. We want them to keep these dates.
Because otherwise they may never show up
Yeah.
because for fear of the feds being there. That's his point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's fine, and I think people can debate that issue, whether or not, well, no, it's great that they come to court, and then we should arrest them there for these various other things. Okay, without regard for that debate, he makes the point, we want people to come to court, and we're considering creating policy around the Milwaukee County Courthouse that would disallow this sort of thing. But he also makes the point, right now, these are lawful arrests. In our courthouse, as our policy is right now, federal agents can come in and commit these arrests. And when you take that into account, your own opinion about whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing, or whether or not Trump is being terrible to illegal immigrants or whatever, is superseded by the fact that this was a lawful attempt at arrest, and the judge in this case stepped in and probably, according to many legal experts, overstepped her bounds by sneaking the guy out. And that's where you get the obstruction of justice charge. Now, legal experts also are largely weighing in, saying they think the response was overhanded or heavy-handed. That, like, I don't know, you don't ring her up on felony charges. You could pursue some sort of sanctions. You could talk to the bar. Can you do various other things?
Right.
And again, people can debate whether or not felony obstruction charges are the right way. But in terms of how the right and wrong in this case is breaking out, I thought Chief Judge Carl Ashley's comments were revealing about exactly how we ended up in this point. 8:43. We'll talk some Brewers with manager Pat Murphy next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 10 weeks now, currently in the maintenance phase. Hit my goal, 35 pounds, reached my weight loss goal easy, fast, safely, and I'm going to continue working with a wonderful team at Milwaukee Weight Loss.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. I mean, there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Are you getting older and ready to simplify your life? Chorizo at Grace Commons in Menominee Falls is your answer. Come tour these beautiful new duplex and fourplex homes. Filled with modern amenities and designed for older adults, Chorizo is a maintenance-free community built around a central resident clubhouse that features a pickleball court, golf simulator, walking paths, and much more. Rent starts at $34.60 per month. Call today and tour Chorizo at Grace Commons, a Capri community. CapriCommunities.com.
Manager of our Milwaukee Brewers, Pat Murphy.
Isaac Collins, Moon, that's his nickname. Moon. Why? Whys, we don't talk about my whys.
This is Brewers 360.
Thank God, I don't know why. That's the guy's nickname. Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting. And on Tuesdays, we're joined by the manager of your Milwaukee Brewers, Pat Murphy. Morning, Murph.
Morning.
Longest road trip of the year continues for the crew tonight, 6:40 first pitch in Chicago. Did you all come home and then go back out, like get a night in your own beds?
No. Most of us stayed here. That's too much. You know, like the days get very, very long. Travel day is longer than you think, even though it's an easy flight. And, you know, we travel in the best of ways. It's too much sometimes.
Well, you mentioned the other day after, I don't know if it was after Saturday or Sunday, but just guys are exhausted. You had the West Coast, and then you're back in St. Louis. You're switching time zones, all of that stuff. Guys are, as well as you travel, and you're not wrong about that, but it's a lot of travel for guys.
Yeah, especially young players. Yeah, we've had a rough type of scheduling thing where you go to New York your first week of the season. You haven't even checked into your place yet in Milwaukee, and you go right from spring training to New York, and then you got 2 West Coast trips, which also, with the time change and the distance, 4+ hour trips, it gets a lot. And now you're at an 11-day trip. So once this is over, I think we'll recoup and get on a better rhythm.
How you feeling about the club, Skip? Know that we had the losing streak. You had that closed-door meeting. You sat Freilich and Durbin mid-game a couple of games ago. Got the win on Sunday. So is everything all better now, or is there still some things that are stuck in your craw?
Well, I mean, it wasn't like things aren't going to be perfect all the time. So you're going to have days where you feel like, wow, we're not functioning the way we normally do. We're not playing well. A lot of it has to do with the teams you're playing and the environments you're in. The Giants have the best record in the National League, and obviously they're a pretty good team, and we were in every game. But we're still a young club, and we're a club that's beat up. I mean, we started the season with 11 of our top 15 pitchers out. So if 11 of your top 15 pitchers are not pitching as you start the season, you're going to go through some bumps in the road. And I just want to make sure we're understanding that we can't squeeze it too tight and we can't worry about it. I said it the other day, when the wind blows and you're a branch, if you try to resist that and go the other way, the branch can break. Sometimes you have to go with the wind and let it move you a certain way and kind of go with it until things stabilize. And and I hope we're getting to that point at some. We're still got a lot of pitchers on the shelf, and we have to survive in the meantime.
When you pull a guy from the game, kind of like Durbin, who got picked off of base, I believe it was, do you tell them? Do they know why you pull them, or you just assume they figure that out?
No, they know why, and I met with them the next morning, and they understand. They understand what it is, and those are 2 guys that represent how we play the game. Durbin and Freilich are guys that play the game in a way that's a little bit uncommon, and the way we're going to have to play if we want to achieve our goals. That's one of the things. We're not just going through the motions and hope we win once in a while. We don't care if we're the smallest market. We don't care if we don't have the biggest budget. We don't care if we're young. We still have a high expectation. And those 2 guys are guys that play a certain way. And if they're squeezing it too tight, or they're trying too hard, or they're trying to force the action, which they were, both of them, it wasn't out of laziness, because then they might get benched and then not get back in there. But they responded the next day. They both had big hits, and the next day to help us win.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy, our guest on Brewers 360 this morning. Thought you had some interesting comments. I think it was after Sunday's game, Murph, where you won another replay challenge, and you credited a couple of your guys who watched those replays, whose job it is to get that message down to you, like, hey, we're gonna have them look at this. I think you're 3-0 on those challenges.
Well, the guy that does it, that runs the show back there, August Sandry, he's special. He doesn't get the credit, but he works as hard as any of us, and he's really good at what he does. And those things have to happen quickly, and you have to be accurate. There's no waste in challenges and things like that. And sometimes it's a 50-50, and you're at the point in the game where you have to challenge or whatever. But that was huge for him to see that, because people don't see that. The guy just didn't barely touch the base, and for him to pick that up and we get a reversal of the call makes a huge difference.
Wanted to ask you, and I know you're busy during this whole time, but we had this huge event in Green Bay. The NFL draft was up there, and it's sort of in my mind reignited a conversation about time we get an all-star game back here in Milwaukee at American Family Field. We did what baseball asked of us, signed that long-term deal. We're going to make a lot of improvements to the ballpark. I would love to see that game come back here to Milwaukee.
I think you'll see that before long. I think you will. Major League Baseball respects the heck out of Mark, our owner, and they respect what the Milwaukee Brewers have done and the way we've done it. I think that's apparent. If somebody's close to Major League Baseball, they know the respect that commissioner's office has for Mark and the Milwaukee Brewers, how we've done business the last 10 years for sure. And I think that you'll see that happen. And there's a lot that goes into it, and it does take time, and you have to be patient. But I do think that you'll see that.
Hey, Murph, so there's a hypothetical question that was posted on the internet, on all the social media platforms, and it's catching fire, and it might help you connect.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, so...
I'm joking.
Oh, God. You had me. All right, so I'm going to give it to you then, because this will help you connect with your club. Who wins in a fight between 100 men and a gorilla?
Who wins in a fight between 100 men and a gorilla?
It's a hypothetical question that a lot of people have different thoughts on. Who
I
could
promise
actually
you there are
win?
guys in your dugout today who will be debating this because it's all over.
I mean, I don't think there's any question that 100 men. I mean, we might have some casualties, but
see,
so you're going men. So you're going with the numbers.
I really am. Yeah.
Interesting.
You got to give us a chance. It's not like they wake up in a tent and then there's a gorilla there. What can 100 guys do? But if there's strategy involved, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt.
I don't know. A gorilla is pretty strong.
See, I'm with Murph. I've come around to that, Murph. I thought, we got to work together. You can't just send guys up one by one and take their shots. You got to
go in waves.
100 guys working together. You got to figure it out.
No question. There's no doubt in my mind.
Interesting.
But,
there you go, E.
But again, I'll never think about this again. When I hear the guys talking about it, it's the silliest thing I've ever heard. So when I hear guys talking about it, I will just tell them, look, read a book, do something else.
Excellent.
And that is an outstanding
advice.
finish. Brewers manager Pat Murphy. Thanks, Murph.
You got it.
Yeah, Brewers and White Sox tonight. It's a 6:40 first pitch. Oh, by the way, that game's going to be on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee tonight because we have the Bucks with an early game in Indianapolis. 8:53 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I'm never going to think about this again.
He's being honest.
I'm telling you, Yelich and Frelick and those guys, they're going to be in the dugout tonight, and they're going to be talking. He's going to overhear that, and he's going to thank us for
He's
bringing
going to
that
laugh and
his
chuckle and be
attention.
like, no, it's the men. The men will win. 100 men.
Those idiots were talking about that with me this morning.
Oh, you're living rent-free in his head. Okay, southbound on 41, backing up from about Highway 145 all the way down to Silver Spring. Northbound's backed up from Watertown Plank Road up past Capitol. Northbound on 43, that's backing up a bit from Fond du Lac Avenue towards Keefe. Southbound's pretty clear. Eastbound 94 is heavy from 76th Street to 35th. Westbound's pretty clear as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. For more than 8 years, QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain. You heard that right. Non-surgical relief. More than 50,000 patients who had knee pain, back pain, now living pain-free. Those with shoulder and hip pain, it's gone. The regenerative cell therapy restores tissues in your achy joints. Dr. Caravelli's team uses biologic growth factors with robust healing properties carefully and strategically placed in your joint. And there's no surgery. Remember that. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing the old tissue. Here's what you do. You call today, 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
A whole day dedicated to us?
No, dedicated to you, the WTMJ fan.
Come celebrate WTMJ with us, your favorite WTMJ host, at a private tailgate at the Brewers game Saturday, May 17th.
Enjoy food, drinks, and hanging out with us. Plus tickets to the Brewers game as they take on the Twins at AmFam Field.
Get more information and secure your tickets at WTMJday.com.
Tickets will go fast, so sign up today. We'll see you at the ballpark for WTMJ Day, Saturday, May 17th.
WTMJ Day is sponsored by Woodman's.
Spring is in the air, the perfect time to kickstart those home improvement dreams. Hi, Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. They're your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient upgrades. Boost your curb appeal and add real value with top brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. All customized to fit your home and your style. Wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, they've got it all. And their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom is the place to start. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
8:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News. A full hour yet to come. Coming up in our next hour, WTMJ's Jeff Sherman, who is a Marquette University grad, going to give us some perspective on the new president who is being installed this morning. What kind of guy is he? What can we expect outside of the Marquette community? What impact will he have on Milwaukee, on Wisconsin? That's coming up at 9:10 this morning. Get you a couple of details on today's weather because it's kind of interesting. Right now it's 67 degrees, and we're going to be getting cooler kind of as the day goes on. By this afternoon, Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson says we're going to be in the 50s. So we'll spend a lot of the day in the 60s, but the temperatures will be falling through the day under partly cloudy skies and pretty windy. Southeast Wisconsin entirely spared of any severe weather, and we were talking about it yesterday morning and even into the afternoon. All your meteorologists, we talked with Niznansky this morning over at 4. We had WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen a couple times yesterday. I was listening to Craig yesterday afternoon. It's 3 or 4 yesterday afternoon, and he's like, look, I still can't even tell you whether it's going to storm. Because of the way that the data was coming in and how it's set up. And both of them said, if we would have had storms, they'd have been on the nasty side.
Right.
That much we knew, but we just weren't sure that there was going to be enough to make them come together.
It was such a defined maybe.
Yeah, right. And none of these guys like to be on the maybe.
Right.
You ask them for a forecast. I don't know, make a call, make a prediction. But there was just so much uncertainty there, and we were spared here in southeast Wisconsin of severe weather. Did have that tornado touchdown in northwest Wisconsin.
Eau Claire County near Augusta was where it came down.
No injuries reported with that, and National Weather Service will be out surveying damage. It's fairly rural there, so you wouldn't think there's a lot of damage. And the only video I saw of it was just a little tiny baby tornado. Just a little twister.
Little baby.
It's just coming down. It was like the funnel cloud was forming and just starting to dip down, and maybe in that moment that was caught on that clip that I saw, it might have touched down for a moment.
Baby or not, don't want that anywhere near my house.
Still a tornado.
Right.
Right. 8:59. News is up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, boaters! At Kendor Marine, we have everything you could want, think of, or wish for your boat. We're committed to making sure you always have a place to fulfill every boating need that you have. And if you ask around, you'll find out our prices always beat the other guys. This is Dave Dorrell from Kendor Marine. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters!
This is Dave Dorrell from Kendor Marine. And hey, boaters love shopping here. How do I know? Well, most times it's because they tell me, Dave, I love shopping here. But other times it's because they tell you. If you need a reason to come here, just check out our online reviews. They tell the whole story. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
We didn't write the headline, the Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Economic uncertainty and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. Standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil. But retirement planning isn't a set it and forget it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized plans that adapt as needed. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
It's Game 5, and the Bucks are trying to stay alive in the NBA playoffs.
It's Giannis racing ahead, plows right through his man, lays it in with a foul, and that was the full Greek Freak experience.
Our coverage against the Pacers starts today at 4:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
9:02 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I'm Vince Vitrano. Tuesday, April 29th, our top story, President Trump marking his first 100 days.
I'm Erik Bilstad, stepping away from conclave.
Storm team forecast for today. Already at our high temperature. Right now it's 67 degrees. Temperatures falling through the afternoon under partly cloudy skies, and lows overnight down to the mid-30s. Right now at 67, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, White House touting the economic success of the current administration. President Trump marks 100 days in office of his second term.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent would not clarify who in the Trump administration is speaking to China amid the ongoing standoff over trade and tariffs. President Trump has said there are active conversations. The Chinese have pushed back and said that's not true. Secretary Bessent.
I think that, over time we will see that the Chinese tariffs are unsustainable for China.
Bessent reiterated the administration's position. It is China who needs to make the first move to de-escalate this situation, saying they need to take off their tariffs on U.S. goods. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Meanwhile, this morning, the White House is slamming Amazon for saying it will soon show the additional cost of tariffs.
Next to a product's price tag, Amazon says it will now show how much the president's tariffs will add on, which Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called
a hostile and political action.
She says it's no surprise and cited a Reuters report from 2021 that said
Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
Wisconsin's first tornado of 2025 touched down in the northwest part of the state on Monday.
A funnel cloud was spotted forming near Augusta in Eau Claire County. The National Weather Service says a tornado touched down just before 8:15 Monday night. Multiple tornado warnings were issued for western Wisconsin. The worst of the storm then moved east across the northern part of the state. The National Weather Service will assess the damage in Augusta today. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
2 more Milwaukee public schools are set to close next month due to the elevated lead levels there. At least 4 students recently tested positive for elevated blood lead levels. Health Commissioner Mike Todoritis says it's a challenging time for the city.
These are really important investments and stabilization activities to ensure that the children do not have long-term permanent brain damage.
City says it has more than 100 school buildings built before 1978 when lead paint was banned.
City had asked the Centers for Disease Control for help with lead remediation, was told that recent layoffs led to the complete loss of the CDC's lead program. ABC News asked Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. about the rationale for cutting the lead program.
There were some programs that were cuts that are being reinstated, and I believe that that's one of them.
So far, there's been no indication the CDC's lead program has, in fact, been restored.
Italian Cardinal Angelo Becciu says he is withdrawing from participating in the conclave to elect a new pope. In 2020, the cardinal was forced to resign as head of the Vatican saint-making office and his rights as a cardinal because of allegations of financial misconduct. Vatican Criminal Court convicted the cardinal of finance-related charges, but Becciu is appealing that conviction. He is withdrawing from participation next week. The Cardinals will start that conclave on May 7th.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. 35 minutes off the opening bell and green lights across the board. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 190 points to 40,418. S&P 500 at 5540. That is up about 11 points. And the NASDAQ up as well, up 33 to 17,399. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 9:06.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like Livingston Seed Packets, 25% off MSRP, up to $300 off select Cub Cadet riding mowers, all backed by our service guarantee. See an associate for details. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they do it every day with compassion and with empathy. They've got locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I've been to the locations. I love how they treat the people who live there. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They offer early memory loss classes. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. Kindness at the core. It's Azura Living. Check them out at azuraliving.com. It's Azura.
The new fractured boulders we now have in stock are really nice. They're squarer and more rectangular in shape, and they're great for building dry-laid retaining walls. They're much easier to deal with, lock together nicely, and you get less gaps. No wet mortar needed. And we've stocked a multitude of colors. You can use them as an accent item to add character to your dry river or creek beds, too. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our organic mulch is comprised of all trees. Most mulch is made from ground-up pallets, and you don't know what might have been spilled on those pallets. Could be chemicals or who knows what. But not our mulch, we're recycling trees. Many species of hardwoods. Cedar, hemlock, light brown, dark brown, mocha, black, red, gold, and caramel. 7 colors to choose from means a mulch to match any exterior. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update for the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Do or die for the Bucks this afternoon in Indiana, facing a 3-1 hole against the Pacers. All-star guard Damian Lillard will have surgery after an MRI revealed a torn left Achilles tendon.
Studies and recent history suggest an average recovery time of around 10 months for elite basketball players returning from an Achilles tendon rupture. That would put Lillard out potentially until March of 2026. The 35-year-old Lillard is owed just over $54 million next season. He has a player option for $58 million the following year. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Again, trailing the Pacers 3-1. The Bucks face elimination tonight in Indiana. The Brewers then open a 3-game series against the White Sox at Rate Field. Because of the Bucks game, tonight's Brewers game will be over on 94.5 ESPN. That's a 6:40 first pitch.
WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Trouble spot right now, 43 northbound, right around North Avenue. Got a left lane there blocked because of a crash. So you have a left lane blocked, and you already have an area that's a little tight at times, so you can expect some slowdowns in that stretch just north of the Marquette, heading north on 43. 4145 northbound, also slow at the moment. Again, you got the road work there. It's also slow southbound in that same stretch because of the barrels. You'll get through it, but again, you'll have to see some brake lights first.
We get you through the 5-day forecast here. Partly cloudy and windy today. Falling temperatures right now in the upper 60s. Will be in the 50s by late this afternoon. Mostly clear skies overnight. Low temperatures in the mid-30s. Partly cloudy with a chance of rain late Wednesday. High 58 degrees. Bit cooler near the lake. Thursday, rain is likely under mostly cloudy skies and a high of 56. Friday's high 55 with a slight chance of showers. And for Saturday, mostly sunny and a high of 56 degrees. Right now, 67 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
10 minutes after 9 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Still a lot to get to in one more hour of the program on the campus of Marquette University.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Marquette planning to officially install its 25th president, Dr. Kimu Ayun. Within the hour, mass and installation ceremony is at the Al McGuire Center. Dr. Ayun is known to Marquette, been there a number of years, was has been acting president since the passing of Dr. Michael Lovell. He's also provost and executive vice president for academic affairs, previously the dean of the College of Communication. So he's been around for a minute there at Marquette and will be installed as the 25th president of the university this morning. Bringing in Marquette University grad and host of The Upswing here on WTMJ, Jeff Sherman. Morning, Jeff.
Thanks, Vince. Good morning, Eric.
Hey,
how are you guys today?
Great to see you.
So what I ultimately want to get to, Jeff, is outside of the Marquette community. What impact will this man have on Milwaukee, on Wisconsin? But let's get to know him a little bit first. Dr. Ayoun, originally from California, but he's been at Marquette, as I indicated, for a while now.
Yes, yeah. He came to Marquette through the College of Communication, provost, obviously acting president. But I've gotten to know Dr. Ayoun through his appearances on The Upswing. Just a really committed, community-centric man. And I look at three things. Like, one, continuity really stands out. Like, the Board of Trustees said, hey, who's the best to lead this institution into the future? They looked at, wow, he has the relationships with all the deans. He had a deep relationship with Dr. Lovell, really cared about the vision of the school moving forward. So it's about continuity. It's about community for him. It's about Marquette and Milwaukee. We're a college town, right? There are 19 colleges and universities in this area. He's already met with all the presidents of each group, has a collaborative working group. It's all about recruitment and retention to build the economy in the region. And Marquette's just one part of that. And then his commitment to faith, and mainly his commitment to student success and retention, is so key to who he is as an individual.
You know, some of the things that he said on your show and in other interviews that I've read, that was something that stood out to me, Jeff, is really a student-centered leader of the university. And there's nothing wrong with, different institutions can take areas of strength from their leadership. If you need to really focus on donors, okay. If you need to really focus on research and whatever, but just this is a guy who really spends a lot of time talking about the student. Who do I have here right now, and how do I help these young men and women become what they want to be?
What do you hear so much about in college athletics? It's about the portal, and it's about transferring. Yeah. When you look at the academic side, you're a student there, and you want a community around you, not only when you're at the school, but when you're leaving. So Dr. Ayoun is about building that student retention and providing resources for students when they're there to make sure that, hey, you're a part of this community. Your parents entrusted us as leaders. The investment here is significant financially. And what do parents want? They want a return on that investment.
Right.
So he takes that to heart, saying, when you're here, we're going to make sure that you have student success, there's a central hub for resources, there's holistic support. Have you been to the Lemonis Center for Student Success on campus? Brand new. It's a third space, not a union, not a library, but kind of a space like we have here at Good Karma to hang out and to be kind of a collaborative student with leaders at the university, and just to kind of be a student and have access to all the resources. Truly a model that he believes in and that he fought hard to make happen.
So how does his success affect the community or the county or the southeastern Wisconsin region as a whole?
Yeah, when you look at what Marquette does, I mean, they, and again, it goes back to Dr. Lovell. Look at the near west side, the area just west of Marquette. They brought together 4 corporations to work with the Business Improvement District over there to make sure that that community is as safe as possible, and also is a development hub, because they know that, hey, we're not an island here. We need the entire downtown area, right, to be safe and to be productive and to have new buildings and new life. So Marquette's, everyone says we are Marquette, but we are Milwaukee, and we are greater Milwaukee, and that's really the mantra that Dr. Ayoun takes.
And service is such an important part of Marquette's mission as well. I know my son's going to be a freshman there this year, so I expect you to take care of him, Jeff, and the alumni network. So whatever you got to do over there.
All right, done.
But I know what he's mentioned is already as a prospective student, how much the fact that Marquette is, I don't know, I wouldn't say they're pushing, but they're inviting you as a prospective student to engage in this community and say, we are out in the community. We would love for you to do service projects with us, whether that be religiously based or otherwise. Like, they plan to put the students to work around the community as well.
Yeah, volunteering is central to who he is as a person and what Marquette is all about. Also, Marquette Mentors, now in its 10th year, you as a student can apply to be a part of the Marquette Mentors program, and you get access to alums who will help guide your journey, whether you're a freshman or a graduate student, to provide connections, to, again, create that community. Because when you're a graduate, no matter where you go to school, you want to look at 20 years out, right? And you want to know that I can pick up the phone, I can make a text, I can call. And wow, I have access because of who I am as a graduate of Marquette University. So Marquette Mentors has been a really strong driver at Marquette, and Dr. Ayoun's been a huge supporter of that program.
So the ceremony starts at 10 a.m. Are you going?
I'm going, yes. It starts there's a procession with students starting at 9:30, and there's a reception afterwards. I will be there. I did talk to some officials at Marquette. I don't think we're going to hear any new initiatives come out of this, but at the same time, there are a lot of opportunities on campus for new buildings, for new fund development. So I think it will be interesting to pay attention to his first 100 days.
Football's coming
You
back.
never know. You never know. Pay attention, though, to his first 100 days because as a leader, you want that one thing that people can really grab onto. And he's a passionate, committed human being and makes me proud to be a Marquette grad.
You know, it's interesting, too, Marquette, and because Eric and I have been involved in this process of looking for schools with our kids. You know, it's kind of that, what, about 10,000 students?
Yeah, 10, 11,000.
You know,
yeah.
So it's in that neighborhood. It's not a huge university. At the same time, it's not small either, right? And it's right here in that urban campus. So, you know, where does Marquette go from here? Does it grow? Does it grow its numbers? Do they, stay about put where they are? Interesting times ahead in higher education.
Oh, without a doubt, a lot of changes. Funding, without a doubt, is a concern, a constant concern for all universities. But you look at first generation students. Dr. Ayoun was a first generation student in California. There are 22% of all the students at Marquette are first generation. He really deeply cares about that and creating that inclusivity and that diversity. So that's a big driver to what he is all about, and it will continue to grow the base there. I think he stays committed to the faith-based principles that have gotten Marquette through since 1881. That's what it's all about, and that's what's going to help drive success moving forward.
Jeff Sherman, host of The Upswing, right here on WTMJ. All right, we better get you out the door.
Very good. I'm going to get over there right now. A quick reminder, you can text President, and you can get the Upswing episode where we talk to Dr. Ayoun to learn a little bit more about who he's all about as a human being. I'm heading over there now to the Al McGuire Center.
Okay, wait, last thing, because students have the morning off. Eric brought that fact out yesterday. They were encouraged to attend. Take yourself back to your college days. Come on, Jeff, be honest. Are you going to that?
Am I going back to the ceremony?
If you were in college today.
Oh, am I going to that?
Waking up. All right,
that's all right. I'm probably going to stream it and watch it afterwards.
Yeah, of course you are.
I'll be at the library studying.
There you go. Text the word president. You can get that interview with Dr. Ayoun. 855-616-1620 on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talking text.
The Mass and Ceremony, 10 o'clock this morning for Dr. Kimo Ayoun. And you can live stream it, as Jeff mentioned. That's available on Marquette's website as well.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kiandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at AdventKnows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Vince Vitrano for Lifetime Door Company. And the last thing I'm going to do is mess up my beautiful new garage door from Lifetime. It's less than a year old. So I got some do's and don'ts from my man at Rick Burr over there at Lifetime. Rick says, if you're cleaning your garage door, tempted as you may be to blast it with a pressure washer, Rick says that's no good. They got a special finish on it. He said the pressure washer can damage that finish and the paint. So just good old-fashioned soap and water should do the trick. Also, do-it-yourself project for you this spring. Replace worn weather stripping and bottom bumpers to make sure that you're still getting that tight seal. If you'd rather, Lifetime Door Company can do that work for you. Call for service anytime or get started picking out your new door that you'll want to take care of. At Lifetime Door Company, 5% off any product or service when you tell them Vinny sent you. LifetimeDoor.net.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Marilyn.
I've been volunteering for over 30 years, so I got to know the community and loved it. We have a theater, community room, and we have bocce outside. They have gardens all over the campus that the residents tend to. Quilting groups, sewing groups, knitting groups, just lots and lots of amenities. Never a boring day.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Oh, yeah.
How'd we let Sherman leave without asking him about the gorilla?
I cannot believe what a derelict of duty not to ask him the hypothetical question.
All guests today have had to take the survey.
Yes.
100 men v. gorilla. Who wins?
Been blowing up online for some reason.
Manager Pat Murphy, who said, A, I'll never think about this again when we're done. But more importantly, he was picking the 100 men.
I think he's in the minority. Most people would pick the
I'm with
gorilla
Murph.
in that fight. Happening today. President Trump marking 100 days in office.
President Trump hit the ground running, relying on executive actions to move his agenda forward, signing more than 140 since January 20th, according to the Federal Register. He has signed 5 bills into law. The first, the Laken Riley Act, named for the 22-year-old Georgia nursing student who was killed allegedly by an undocumented migrant. As he promised on the campaign trail, the Trump administration taking action on immigration. ICE raids across the country targeting undocumented migrants. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
So he's heading to Michigan today. A couple of things in the news this morning we'll get to. But first, as far as those campaign promises go, here's what Senator Ron Johnson had to say on 101.7 The Truth's Tory Lowe's show.
Well, I think more than any president in my lifetime, Donald Trump in his first term and his second time are honoring those promises. Whether I necessarily agree with all of them or not, he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
If the senator may not agree with him, but he is doing what he campaigned on. He did also say this.
I'm concerned about his tariffs. Every time he would say that was the most beautiful word in the English language, I would wince. Tariffs are a tax. I mean, they're a tax on consumer goods.
So speaking of the tariffs, a couple of things. Sounds like he's going to soften some of the auto tariffs. According to the Wall Street Journal, he's going to make that announcement as he visits Michigan today.
Which will be very well received there.
But then there are reports that Amazon is planning to display tariff costs for consumers. So,
what do you mean display?
Meaning it's like, here's the cost, and by the way, here's how much tariffs are affecting this cost. So here it's $80. 23 of which is because of tariffs.
That's interesting.
On the side is the understanding there. So White House not terribly happy about that.
I will not speak to the president's relationships with Jeff Bezos, but I will tell you that this is certainly a hostile and political action by Amazon.
So we should point out, too, that I'm not sure if Bezos has any decision on this at all. I mean, he was the founder of Amazon, but isn't doing day-to-day ops there now. Anymore. So, but she was
Caroline
asked,
Leavitt at the White House.
Yep. She was asked if Bezos is still a Trump supporter. Meanwhile, more on what Amazon is doing.
This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years?
All right. So again, getting back to the Biden stuff. So this is something that Amazon, though, is saying that it's going to do in the White House. Vehemently upset with it this morning with news when this first broke.
I don't know that you're not necessarily, that these things can't exist in concert. Can you be a supporter of President Trump and even a supporter of tariffs, but also find value in seeing that information displayed? I don't know that
more information is always better than less.
I don't know that I share the opinion of the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, with that necessarily. I see where she's coming from of, well, why are you doing this? The thing is, this is trackable, 100% traceable, whereas to just suggest, well, inflation is high because of the other guy.
Right.
I don't know that that's a number.
Too nebulous?
That you could put on that. This is, you can say this is the cost of the product. This is the cost of the product with the tariffs. And if you're happy about that, or you say, yes, this is going to help us bring manufacturing jobs back to the country, then you can have that opinion and not necessarily see that as a negative.
What's on the agenda today? So the president will head to Michigan. He's going to make some remarks at an Air National Guard base around mid-afternoon. Then this evening around 5 o'clock Central Time, he's going to give a 100th day in office speech in Macomb County, Michigan. So you would expect that to be similar to a campaign speech, right? Like it'll likely be of that ilk, we would imagine.
And worth pointing out, 100 days is a fake number. I mean, I think FDR was the first president to sort of coin that phrase, in my first 100 days, right? So it doesn't matter, but for the fact that today it seems to matter.
Right.
9:27 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Bottom of the hour headlines just ahead from ABC.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, the best in the area. They're going to take care of you big time. You want to play pickleball. You want to golf. You want to play with your grandkids in the front yard and do it with no pain. Go to the place that has the highest patient satisfaction ratings and the top doctors in the area. It's Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. I've met the docs. I've walked through the hospital. It's absolutely incredible. They're going to take great care of you from beginning to end. Go to OHOW.com, hit the request an appointment button. OHOW.com, request an appointment.
Hello. Hey, Patrick. This is Rick from Lifetime Door. Congratulations. You are the winner of our Ugly Door contest. And we're going to get you a new door and a new opener.
Wow, excellent. The opener hasn't worked in about 10 to 15 years. It's needed to be replaced for so long. This is great. I am very happy.
I'd like you to come to our showroom in Brookfield because there's a lot of choices for you to make. It's going to be another 50 years before you need another one. So we're going to get you the right stuff that looks really nice.
This is great. Thank you.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust & Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
You can search for the biggest bat selection, but I'm here to save you time because the best baseball and softball bat selection in the Midwest is right here at Burkhart Sporting Goods. We stock just about every bat on the market from all the top manufacturers like Easton, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Marucci, and more, and sell them all at the guaranteed lowest prices. So get in here and try a few out in our indoor batting cages. There's no need to look any further because when it comes to bats, if you want it, we got it at Burkhart Sporting Goods.
You can't beat Burkhart.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spirit wear is vital. That's why Burkhart Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spirit wear from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spirit wear and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhart.
You can't beat Burkhart.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Trump signing an executive order today relaxing some of the 25% tariffs he has imposed on cars and car parts. Automakers have indicated the tariffs could raise prices, reduce sales, and make production less competitive worldwide. There are reports that Amazon plans to display tariff costs on all of its products so consumers can see how much they're costing. Meantime, UPS telling shareholders it's going to lay off thousands of employees by the end of the year.
As goes Amazon, so goes UPS. The package delivery company's biggest customer is the world's largest online retailer. And as consumers back down some of their spending at Amazon, UPS is paying the price. Or more accurately, 20,000 of its workers are. That's how many positions UPS plans to eliminate by Christmas.
ABC's Jim Ryan. Americans' confidence in the economy slumping for the fifth consecutive month, the lowest level since COVID began, according to the Conference Board. President Trump in Michigan marking 100 days in office. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, fire destroyed a former off-highway bar in Kenosha. Fire officials said the blaze at Old Uncle Mike's Highway Pub started about 3 in the morning. We do not have reports of any injuries.
Reduced charges for a former Waupun prison warden. A warden who is implicated in 2 inmate deaths. Randall Hepp now pleading to a plea deal. He's going to plead no contest to a felony misconduct charge that's now a misdemeanor. 8 members of Hepp's staff charged in June of last year with abuse or misconduct in the deaths of Cameron Williams and Donald Mayer at the Waupun Correctional Institute. Hepp could now face just 30 days behind bars.
No jail time for the man who drove the wrong way on I-94 towards former Vice President Kamala Harris' motorcade during a campaign visit last year. 55-year-old Wayne Wacker did plead guilty to disorderly conduct and negligent operation of a motor vehicle. Judge stayed a prison sentence and placed Wacker on 12 months probation, $500 fine.
10% of Wisconsin deer sampled for chronic wasting disease, testing positive for the neurological disease. The DNR says nearly 90% of deer testing positive were what's known as the southern farmland zone of Wisconsin. That's Richland, Sauk, and Iowa counties, southwestern portion of the state. CWD is always deadly in deer, and the CDC recommends that people avoid eating medicine from those infected animals.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update, an hour off the opening bell. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 132 points at 40,359. The S&P 500 at 5530. That is up less than a point. And the NASDAQ up just about 5 points to 17,371. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
WTMJ time saver traffic. Yeah, it's bad. 43 northbound, right around North Avenue. There's an accident there blocking the left lane, so you're squeaking by on the right-hand side. This is already an area that has barrels up. 43 north.
Yeah,
so
you have to take 3 lanes down to 2 anyway, right around.
So right
there.
now you're squeezing by in just 1 lane, it would appear. So because of that, very slowly in that stretch. Again, you'll get through it, but yeah, it's gonna delay you significantly. Delays now nearly reaching the Marquette interchange there. So 43 northbound, very slow at the moment. 94 eastbound, Highway 16 all the way into the city is looking good. That's on time. And 4145 northbound, because of the road work, you'll see some brake lights there, but you will get through it.
Storm team forecast for today, falling temperatures right now in the upper 60s, and we'll be falling into the 50s by late afternoon. What else we got? Then overnight gets pretty cold. Low temperatures. Boy, overnight we're in the 70s overnight. So we're going to be in the mid-30s overnight today, both by the lake and inland. Wednesday, partly cloudy with a chance of rain late, high of 50, 58 degrees inland. Thursday, rain likely, mostly cloudy, and a high of 56. Friday, high 55 under partly cloudy skies with a slight chance of showers. And looking ahead to Saturday, mostly sunny, but a high of just 56 degrees. Right now it's 67.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:35.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
Here's to time out on the water in Wisconsin. To living your best life while enjoying the lake life.
Ready?
And getting up on a wakeboard the very first try. Or not. Here's to wearing only swimsuits and wishing this perfect day would never end. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
9:37 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I got to post that video yet. Folks have been asking since I brought it up.
Okay, great.
What had happened was, Eric and I spent about 24 hours in Green Bay, as you recall, at the NFL draft. And no complaints here because it's the best kind of work, but it's a fairly long day.
It was a long day on Wednesday.
Evidenced by the fact that our last act as we pulled out of Green Bay was to dump Eric's backpack out the open hatch on the vehicle as we tore out onto Oneida Street.
I could hear a car horn honk and some sounds of...
I just heard a clang, clang.
Yep,
I look back and, hey, the back's open.
Oh, man.
We can debate whose fault that was. I was the last one back there, so I guess I didn't close it, so I'll own that.
Now, you could ask, well, didn't you hear the sound, because usually there's an alarm that goes off when the hatch is up like that. Maybe
you, as the operator of the motor vehicle...
It's very possible the alarm was going off.
We just didn't.
It was a long day.
On fumes at that point.
It was a long day.
It's kind of like that. Or if you do some boating, right? You're on the boat and, whoever's driving, your buddy gets to drive this time and he like cranks it up and like stuff starts flying off the back. Mm-hmm. You lose the cooler.
Yep.
Somebody loses a hat.
Cooler, yeah.
One of the life preservers goes over the side. Hey!
The only difference in this case overseas is that the cooler costs $70 million. That's quite a Yeti right there. No, what we're talking about is this fighter jet, rolling off the aircraft carrier in the Red Sea.
The incident occurred as the $70 million jet was being towed from the hangar bay of the aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman. Both the fighter jet and the tow tractor rolled off the carrier deck and into the Red Sea. 2 crew members, one on board the FA-18 and another inside the tractor, jumped out in time, but officials say one sailor suffered a minor injury.
Could you imagine that? Like you're just kind of rolling out there and either the brakes weren't right or you were going in the wrong trajectory and there it goes. There's the plane, now at the bottom of the sea.
Well, the crew on the fighter jet, that's not on them. They're getting towed.
Well, right. But
so it can't be on them. Maybe it's tow guy.
There's going to be some questions asked by supervisors in this one. You can't just push that thing out there.
You were right.
How in the world did this happen? Now, there's been some hostile activity taking place right now. So there was question at one point about whether or not this was done as part of some kind of evasion or something like that.
Were they in a hurry trying to move things?
Right, yeah. So, who knows? Maybe that's still part of it. The one thing that's interesting is that, what do you do now? Do you go down there and get it? And depending on who you talk to, there's a lot of sensitive and sophisticated electronics on board that plane. You don't want the Chinese or Russia going down there and grabbing it. Now, who knows if there's really anything that Russia could really learn from something that's 150 feet down at the bottom of the sea right now? But if there is, you want to get there first.
Yeah, well, if it can be gotten, you want to make sure that we're getting it.
So then what are you doing? Are you hiring, Jerry from the salvage group that's doing the boat here in Milwaukee?
I don't know. Jerry's a weekend and still can't get that thing off the beach.
I mean, but so say you bring
Milwaukee.
Say you bring, Jerry and their group over there to go get this thing. I mean, you're going to do that in a area that's hot right now.
And I just wondered about the depth. Like, can it even be gotten? Can you get cables down? I guess you get cables down that deep and bring it up, but it's full of water.
Yeah, so you'd have to do some work. I mean, or do you just send down a couple of scuba divers to just retrieve what needs to be retrieved and leave the rest of it down?
I got another plan. Send out a couple of divers with some explosive devices and
just blow it up.
Boom. Wait for the splash. Because then nobody gets it. But if we can't bring it to the surface and we can't retrieve it, then you got to blow it up.
I'm curious how much. What do you think the Chinese or the Russians could get from it? Like, what would they not already know?
I don't know. They probably get both. Particularly, the Chinese have schematics on all of our stuff already.
Aren't they tracking everything we're doing anyway, just like we are of them?
Right. We'd like to think they don't have all that, but they're like, oh no, we don't. Actually, we don't need that. We have all that already.
This isn't Mission Impossible where two guys have a key, and we only have one of the keys. We got to get down there and find out what's hidden in there. I don't think it's quite like that, but. Who knows?
Somebody over there in China go, no, we already got all that, actually. We got a couple of these in the hangar, in fact. 9:42 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Thinking about curb appeal? A few changes can make a huge difference in your yard. I got the difference maker for you. Landworks Wisconsin. They specialize in bringing your landscaping dreams to life. They did that in our yard. From refreshing your existing gardens to creating entirely new outdoor environments, they did both those things for us. Think gorgeous new plantings, inviting pathways, expertly designed spaces to relax and entertain. Don't wait. Call Landworks or visit landworkswisconsin.com. Let's make your yard the envy of the neighborhood.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
Buddy Matt just texted me, wants me to read a book. The Taking of K-129, How the CIA Stole a Sunken Soviet Sub Off the Ocean Floor. It's a black and white pic, so probably at the time was pretty useful information.
It's a different time.
Right. To the point of, could they learn anything that they haven't already spied on us on?
Not suggesting, it's fine. If you would like to think that if the U.S. military fears that there's something down there they need to recover, they'll find a way to go.
What was wrong with my plan? You scoffed at my plan.
Blowing it up just randomly? Why wouldn't you just get the things you need?
Again, I'm saying if you can't get it, then he looks at me then like, man, you're so dumb.
Let's go down 100 feet with dynamite.
You're so dumb.
But maybe that's what they do. They do that. The SEALs will do that. And have done that in the past.
I've seen movies.
Yeah, but they have in war zones. When the chopper or the Black Hawk has gone down, they say, okay, you got to blow it up now. And they do, just to prevent issues.
Green Bay Packers still cleaning up following the massive NFL draft over the weekend.
Happening today.
It's happening today. It begs the question, what are they going to do with all that stuff? The structure, the materials, custom designed in many cases for this event. Anything that wasn't rented and can't just go back. NFL is going to donate it for, quote, repurposing by local organizations. So as part of the ongoing commitment to leave a sustainable draft legacy in Green Bay, the Packers and NFL Green, the league's environmental program, will host a post-draft material recovery and donation event for local organizations. It's happening today at Lambeau Field.
So what kind of materials are we talking about?
Read that to mean like, anybody want any of this crap?
Right?
Right,
Hey,
like
we're going to help
whatever's
you out by leaving all of this here.
Right.
For you to go through.
It's a sanctioned salvage. Go ahead and grab whatever you want. I imagine, I don't know, I think probably a lot of the fencing had to be rented,
Some of that,
right?
yeah, had to have been rented.
But some of it might be left off. I don't know if they're bringing out widescreens.
What about
the flat screen monitors and all that?
What about
That's going
banners?
back to somewhere. Yeah, like things like that.
What about all those wood carving team logos?
Those are being dedicated to somewhere, right? The guy who did the carvings?
I would assume so, but...
We talk about economic impact, too. There is that material benefit today, but the work. I've got a buddy in the union that does a lot of the build-out for events like this, International Association of Theatrical Stage Employees, IATSE, they go by. And he was telling me it was the locals, not just from Green Bay, but also Madison, also Milwaukee, tons of work, front end and now back end. Guys working huge hours. So a lot of work for folks in that industry. So that is going on up in Green Bay today. If you need, I don't know, piece of fence or cardboard or something like that. What are they? Well, they got to break down that bar that we were in, the dive bar.
Oh, right, yeah.
You gonna give somebody the bar? We'll take the bar.
All the pieces. There's license plates in there and different things. Well, what about the Republican National Convention had a bunch of stuff that was still here, and I remember I interviewed one guy who was eyeing all the on the floor of the convention, all the state signs, the Wisconsin.
Cool stuff.
And those things are spoken for. There's every state, there's at least one delegate who's like, nope, that's mine. No one's taking the Montana sign. But there's all this bunch of stuff outside too, outside of Fiserv Forum.
Yeah, no, it was a grab fest. People were just grabbing stuff off that last night.
So could that have happened in Green Bay?
I think some things probably were pillaged already. You had 200,000+ people there that last day, right? Another draft note here, our number one pick, wide receiver Matthew Golden, gave an interview with ESPN Sports Center. And in a moment, I'll give you just another reason to root for this guy, aside of the fact that we want him catching touchdowns for our team. But first on that, Golden, on that moment in Green Bay, hearing his name called for the hometown team.
On draft day, anything could happen. So just knowing that I could have got my name called anywhere. And for it to be in Green Bay was definitely the best feeling. Didn't have to travel anywhere. I was right at home. Felt like I was right at home.
That is interesting. I guess it hadn't occurred to me until he said it like that, but it's one of 30 places you could end up, and you don't get to decide where you work.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
Doesn't work that way in most other businesses. So there you are sitting there waiting to find out where you're going to work, at least for the next several years. What's he bring? Sounds like he's got a pretty good attitude. Coming out of the University of Texas.
Definitely explosiveness. Anywhere on the field I can get open. So whatever they need me to do, that's what I'm willing to do. I'm a playmaker, and I'm a very reliable target. Critical situations, big time moments, that's when I show up. So just having that mentality to go get it.
Man, I like that. Matthew Golden, number one draft pick for the Green Bay Packers out of Texas, speaking with ESPN Sports Center. Just the idea that I'm what was the word he used? Reliable or
dependable?
Dependable. In those situations, you need a guy to make a catch.
I can make it.
That receiver core's got the dropsies a little bit. A couple of guys who are prone to let the ball hit the ground, and so if we got a guy who we can count on to be making those catches that we need, I like all that. And now the backstory: Matthew Golden grew up in the Houston, Texas area. Calls his grandmother his best friend. So already, sounds like a good guy. And apparently says his grandma lost the family home a few years ago, and he now has some plans.
I definitely want to get the property that we lost a couple years ago when I was younger. That's where I grew up. That's where all my family grew up, man. And, there's just too many memories back there. I feel like that's where it all started for me as far as playing football and everything. So just definitely trying to give back to my grandma. I want to see that smile on her face. She definitely deserved it. She sacrificed a lot. Her and my mom did a lot for me to get put in this position. So all I can do is give back to them.
I read another report that suggests that home, the home itself, is literally for sale right now.
Oh,
wouldn't that be something?
Go get it.
Go back, get it
That's
back in the family, and get that done for that young man. That's Matthew Golden introducing himself even further, talking with ESPN.
I am a It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a green band 3. 1, 2, 3.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game.
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic, and you've heard me talking for quite some time about a new location that is opening on the south side. I'm particularly excited about that because that means I will be able to get care closer to home, and it's going to be in Oak Creek, and we're going to celebrate. A little bit later this month, Connect Chiropractic is holding a party, and we want everybody to come out there. It's going to be at the new location, so we'll be just east of Howell Avenue on Rawson Road there in Oak Creek. Connect Chiro bringing the best in care to you and to your family. So here's what's going to happen. They're opening middle of this month, and I'll get you the date here in a moment, but they're going to have some raffle prizes and other things that will be available if you come out and see us. I'm planning to be out there as well. And then you can also get one of those screenings to find out if you're a really good candidate for Connect Chiropractic and what they can do for you. Connect Chiro's next location in Oak Creek, and the party is May 9th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You can also go out there and meet Dr. Noah. He's going to be the primary providing that better care and health to Southside families. So he'll be out there as well. Don't forget about Delafield and Wauwatosa, though. Get started at Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. My reverse osmosis system in my house is fantastic. The water I drink, the water we feed the dogs, the water we cook with is crisp, clean, and clear thanks to Guthrie and Fry's RO system. It's technology that's been around for a long time, but it's the best in the business, and Guthrie and Fry will get it to you. It's affordable, it's effective, and you'll feel a lot better. It's all about the science. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice, and my choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
Affordable glass and mirror home decor ideas will go as far as your style and imagination will take them. But not everyone has the time to think up new ways to make our products work for their home. So here are some ideas that could really take your home style to the next level. A great way to visually enlarge a small space is to add mirrors. We're seeing mirrored closet doors come back in style, but now they call them reflective storage units. And if they're done right, they can be quite appealing. Make your minimal bedroom more expansive looking with a wall of mirrors. Or how about a mirrored backsplash in your kitchen? Mirror front kitchen cabinets look really sleek. If you bring us the milled out cabinet doors, we'll install mirrors and your kitchen gets an instant style upgrade. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
9:54 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Why are you grinning? We should put a bow on this, because I don't know that it lives another day on this program.
Well, so there was a question that's been like wildfire on the internet right now. It was posted a couple of days ago on X, hypotheticals, or this one specific hypothetical, and every platform now is talking about it. There's memes blowing up, and the question is basically, who would win in a fight between 100 men and a gorilla? Who would win that fight?
And there's no reason this question was asked other than just it was just posted.
Yeah, and it's blown up.
The story is that it's everywhere now.
Right.
And if you haven't heard your kids or somebody at work talking about this, you will, because it's unavoidable.
Right. So that became the big question that we started providing to our guests, one of them being Pat Murphy.
I mean, I don't think there's any question that 100 men, we might have some casualties.
So, I mean, he's all...
Yes, we asked the manager of your Milwaukee
Murphy,
Brewers.
He was all in on that the men would win.
Not like, they wake up in a tent and then there's a gorilla there. What can 100 guys do? But if there's strategy involved,
Okay, so he says if there's strategy involved, you would win. We asked Brian Niznansky the same thing. Here's what he said.
As long as they all went at him at once and they clung on to him, you had to have a game plan. You got to have a game plan.
You guys are nuts. You guys are crazy.
You're putting me because I'm kind of on that
You're
side.
like, oh yeah, that would work.
Strategery.
You guys actually think you can beat a gorilla? Are you serious?
Yeah, not alone.
The only thing you'd have going for you is fatigue, but you'd have plenty of casualties.
I did think about, if you get a shot off on the gorilla, what are you doing? You're going to punch him? My punch on the gorilla is not the same as gorilla's punch on me. I might be back on your side.
So my boys, my teenagers were talking about this yesterday, and my one suggestion, the one thing I thought that could work, I'm all out, by the way. I think gorilla wins easy, hands down. But my one suggestion was, well, if you get a good swift kick in the groin, could that work? Only because the gorilla's probably never had that happen before. And my 15-year-old goes, "Do you want to be the guy making that kick?" Well, no. Well, so we also asked Tausch. Here's his point.
You would say the numbers would get it, but I don't think we realize how strong a gorilla is.
I think that's correct.
Thank you, Tausch. You can hear all of the interviews. Just text the word Vince to 855-616-1620, the Saturday Unlimited WDTMJ Talk and text line. Everything in the last 4 hours is on there. Greg Pancake Hill has it all dissected. You can find each and every conversation on demand on Wisconsin Morning.
We did talk with our esteemed guests about all of the other things. It was just an aside. I like how Murphy left it, though.
No question. There's no doubt in my mind. But again, it's I'll never think about this again.
Amish outdoor furniture with poly and wood available. And that poly is the richest of outdoor furniture. It's just